Hello, hello. Nuggums. Hello. Here for our Cornerstone session 2. I have a cat in this room. Mommy! Very much more appreciated. Dead.
Schnuggums the Schnuggler just followed.
Take your father fuck. Yeah, I know Mike's links. Get dove one. Hope everybody's excited for session 2. Gonna get right into it in a couple minutes. Have a drink. Enjoy the adventure. Or the dinner party, depending on how our party deals with the oncoming adventure. Cornerstone. The Unlikely Suspects, Part 2. So let's just switch in here. And so today, we're going to say hello to our players in a minute, but just so that everyone's aware, we don't have Mr. Host with us today, so he will be kindly written out and he'll go missing for a couple of hours, unfortunately. But other than that, let's go say hello to our players. This little adventure.
Not yet. And then I was joking. Haas was out because of whatever.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
There we
Greetings.
go.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Links. Hi, Yo-Yo.
Hi, Yo-Yo.
Got myself
Hi,
lit up.
Lynx.
So,
Hatsune.
Hi,
Uh,
Hobo.
right. So, I, as a bad DM, have decided to not recap the last episode. I think that's on your guys' fault. So today we're gonna play it off to Mr. Alpaca. What exactly happened last time? So we can have a quick recap for all the people
Last
listening.
time on the Basement Lizards.
Eh.
Well,
Nothing happened.
I don't
we,
feel it, but okay.
shut up. We did a very original start to a campaign and met in a tavern. It was the Old Oak Tavern, actually run by the Oaks. And there was another chick there as well. There's 4 groups of us. Well, now there's one. It's Haas, Ernie, and Grum. Then there's Octavia and Astrid. Then there's Morgren and Godwin. And then lastly, there's Pyrian. We all met in the tavern because we're waiting for a gentleman called Garth to take us to Mr. Gilderoy's 100th birthday party. Not a lot happens.
Skipping ahead
Yeah,
to the actual.
not a lot happens. That's shut the. Do your own recap. Not a lot.
Just do it
happens.
better, you know.
Garth arrives. We get a magical scroll. We all get fancy clothes.
True.
And then we arrive at Mr. Gilderoy's party. A few NPCs of interest were mentioned. I'm not gonna mention them.
Good.
And
Yeah.
then somehow Gilderoy made Grum and Ernie fight. It was I mean, clearly Ernie held back. And then there was a winner, and now we're here.
So, thank you very much, Alpaca. So yeah, we can cut basically from what happened last time, which was, Ernie and Grom having basically beaten the crap out of each other for some money just because a rich guy said so. As Ernie picks himself off the floor and Grom picks himself off the floor, the groups of people start to basically separate, going back to their tables, and essentially continuing the evening's entertainment. Technically it's like mid-afternoon to getting into late evening now. So we can just continue from there, where each one of you can pick a spot, pick a table. You have several NPCs that you wish to interact with, perhaps learn a little bit more about Mr. Gilderoy himself, or perhaps some of these well-known, patrons that he has to his own birthday party. The adventure is in your hands. So come on, guys. Let's pick a player. Hey, Alpaca, we'll start with you. How about that?
Yeah. Well, Morgan would like to return to the party after being after go checking out the sunroof, which was a massive disappointment because apparently it was decorated with stained glass,
Oh,
which
pretty expensive.
fucked up the sunlight. Yeah, whatever. So returning to the party, I guess he'll descend down some stairs.
Yep.
It's like an open stairwell.
It's basically kind of like an open stairwell. Like, think of it as like two turrets at each side of the hall.
I get you. He'll take a quick scan over the crowd. See if there's anyone of interest to him in some way.
Okay.
Anyone maybe he recognizes, not of the 8 people.
Not the party members. Okay, we can say giving like a quick look over, without even a perception check. This is just you actively like kind of looking for things that you would recognize. You notice a couple of dwarves, some that are wearing like almost like a uniform. They're almost like mercenaries in some way, like in some regard. Like they don't have like the weapons on them, but they are like kind of like hefted up with like studded leather. Their patches are quite like hidden, but also like some of them are like blaring out on their suit. You also have some like 2 of them that are like surrounding another dwarf that seems to be sitting in the corner with a lady like sitting next to him, and he just seems to be like almost like kind of just like leering over. There's also a younger woman. Like you don't really recognize her, but you do recognize that there is what looks like a clothed, almost what do you call it? Drape, not a drape. Kind of like a priest's gown. You're not familiar with the insignias, but there seems to be like several of them that are like littered across the back of it as he's sitting next to this woman on the table. Other than that, though, the rest kind of like blend in. You see Mr. Gilderoy. You see his what you assume is his son because it looks very like him. And he's just laughing and boasting as the crowd around the table is kind of just like holding a drink up and hey and cheering as they slap it down. And he takes another like knife from the table and just throws it, tries to hit it into like a near cork board on the wall.
So there are several people with priestly gowns, or just the one?
Just the one. There doesn't seem to be very many religious outfits around.
And it was a young woman?
A young woman, yep, next to the dwarf.
What race?
She looks human. Human.
A young human woman next to a dwarf. She's dressed in a priestly gown with an insignia unknown to Morgan. Okay.
The one wearing the priestly robes is an actual older man. Sorry, I should.
Well, that's right. That's a man.
Yeah, the woman is just a woman. It's a.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a dwarf talking to a woman.
Yeah, it's a
and
dwarf
then
talking
there's
to a
an
woman,
old
and then
guy
yeah.
standing behind her.
The old guy is basically at another table with the slender woman, who you don't quite recognize.
I see. I'm
That
sorry.
was my bad. I should have specified.
You should have. That's okay. The mercenaries.
Yes.
Do I recognize their order?
You will actually, yes, because I think this is on several of your boat trips throughout your
I think
long,
you're right. Yeah.
hauling of your adventurous life from leaving your town and coming all the way to Trino. You are aware of the Arturo, which is they're basically a dwarven family name, kind of famous for their mercenaries. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah. No. Okay. You don't you do see like some of these mercenaries. They have the same uniform, but that's about it. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. These guys must be the mercenaries of Arturo. And you do know the name Hesso Arturo, who is like literally the money man, the chief, the family of
Hesso.
mercenaries. Hess Arturo, Hess.
Okay. Arturo. Thank you.
And he seems like he's is the one that is leering over this woman in the corner of the room.
I see.
Have a bleeding nose. Forgive me if I bleed on stream. I'm pretty sure that's not against TOS.
It could be, you
As
don't
long
know.
as you're not doing it to yourself.
Against my TOS. No blood.
Getting robbed at gunpoint apparently is against TOS.
Well, that's okay. That
Let's,
makes sense. It's psychic
okay.
damage.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
I swear it's not me.
what's Mr. Mogren doing as he comes down the steps
Yeah.
and sees all this?
Well, he has a job to do basically. So I think he's just gonna go try to seek out Gilderoy.
Okay. Well, Gilderoy right now seems to have headed over to the main table, and he's sitting down like with like several people around. You can assume that like one of them is Garth. I guess Garth isn't sitting at the table, but he is like he is the henchman that not the manservant. As he's watching over his lord. The rest seem to be like just nobodies who are just kind of excited. Nobles, dukes, and all sorts of high-level royalty, I guess, that you don't really recognize as your dwarven nature does not recognize most of these humans.
No, not at all. Well, then let me head towards the mercenaries then. If Gilderoy seems preoccupied.
Okay. There's two at the front door, and then there's two at the. Wait for the clip to play out. I still have to disable that.
Hey,
Hello,
Eric.
Eric. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid, buddy. I hope your stream was doing really well, and I hope you got your ass kicked by Sifu.
Why did I walk to the right?
Because hello, welcome in.
Why did I walk myself to the right?
Welcome, raiders.
So, there's two guards. There's two Arturo guards currently at the main entrance. That look to be like kind of looking over. There are two that are sitting beside the priest and the woman, and there are two that seem to be literally like nestled in the back wall, just behind Mr. Arturo himself.
The two at the door, two with the priest, and two with at the back wall near Arturo himself.
And I will say that you do realize that none of these guys have weapons. Like nobody seems to have any weapons. The nearest weapon in this whole hall is knives and forks that are being set out as dinner is about to be prepared.
Good enough. No. Sure. Let me then let me go towards the priest dude. there's some mercenaries and there's the priest too, right?
Yeah.
Let's go that way.
Okay, as you walk your way through the crowd, you notice that everyone seems to be settling, talking, and mumbling about the money they just lost on a fight. As you settle down, you approach this table with this old, elderly, leather-skinned man looking over the woman, and she seems almost kind of, almost distraught, but not quite. She's kind of like leaning over her wine glass as the older man has his hand like on top of hers, and you basically hear the end of the conversation as he says, we are all trying our best to make this work. He is not a great man. That does not matter. What matters is the name and the power that this marriage will secure. I know, of course. Of course. You have
Whoa,
to...
who's getting married?
Excuse me. And you
I
see,
love weddings.
literally, the priest turns and says, sorry, brother. Yes, this was a private conversation, but, perhaps, you seem to be lost? What can we do for you? You see, like, you can also see, like, now that you're looking into his, like, robes and such, he's a lot, like his skin is almost kind of, like, frailed, and you can see, like, the bloodshot eyes. He looks very old, almost kind of like his whiskers are turning, like, a whitish gray, and there's, like, a lot of, like, brush-like entity on his beard. He's not doing too well. He doesn't look like he's, a young man or even a wise man. He looks like he's on death's door, man.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry,
Morgan's just gonna, look around a little bit, maybe be a little bit confused because normally he's welcomed most places he goes. So
I'm sorry. My name is Chief Indigo, and you are?
I am Morgan.
Oh, great. This is Lady Arturo. Recently was wed to Mr. Hess Arturo. I have no I don't see and kind of he seems to be peeking his head up, unable to see the dwarf as he puts his head back down and then glances back to you. Perhaps you've already met him. I would like to.
What was her name?
Her name's Lady Arturo.
Just Lady Arturo.
He did not give her her name.
That's fine.
It's her. Out of curiosity, her name is Far, Farr. So her name technically is Lady Far Dasher Arturo. That's her full name. But yes, the lady and I were just talking. What can I do for you?
I'm just really just looking for a place to eat, and you guys seem like good people, So I'm like, whoa, I'm down if you're down, cause like, also like your gown is super cool.
Yes, it is the passed down generation to generation of all of my brothers and sisters of many of the faiths. I am one of the procurers of the, how do you say, merged faiths, or merged religions of Trino, where we will gather all of the knowledge and bring them together in a unity of sorts. It is a new practice. It's only been going for the past 100 years. I'm not sure if you have heard of it. We could have an interesting dive into the politics and, of course, the cross-species cultures, if you would perhaps enjoy such a debate.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, so you worship several and then it just takes it from there.
Okay, yeah. So as Mogren sits down and joins the conversation, you can see that the woman kind of like retreats a little. She seems kind of interested, and she kind of looks at you and looks to Chief Indigo, but is very much in her own head in that sense. As you guys drink and continue your conversation. Who's next? Who wants to go next? Who has an idea? Come on. Or
I guess I'm gonna dash in just so we can get our business out of the way immediately.
okay,
I
right?
suppose.
Yep. Okay, go on.
Yeah. After being like effectively lost for a couple of minutes after the Grom and Ernie fight,
Hmm.
Godwin would basically just not run around, but do pacing around the hall, essentially just looking for Morgrun
Okay.
to tell him exactly what happened. Uh, I just basically going to be looking for Morgan until I find him at
Okay.
the desk, and I won't be joining in the discussion immediately. I will just stand in the back.
Okay.
I don't know how far away into the conversation Godwin will pop back in the back.
Well, I mean, you guys can fucking like
In the
pick
background, I
pick
should say.
something if you want, like where you want to like come in. Because they would essentially like you'd end up telling tales, I guess, and telling backgrounds, how the households work, how your religion works, and then maybe when you come in, Chief Indigo would, you would introduce him, Alpaca, and then it would go from there, kind of fluently. We can do that when we come back to you then, Margaret, I guess, right? And that will continue that then, if that's okay with you, unless you've got something else you want to do.
No, it's fine. This is basically what I wanted to do as well. So we're just getting this out of the way, so we wouldn't be returning to this like in the middle of someone else's.
Okay, yeah, no,
story,
that's
so.
fine. Yeah, we'll catch up from there because literally it's going to be like everybody's going to get settled for dinner anyway. So this is kind of where we're going. Period.
Yes.
Right. What's Period doing as the room starts to clear and people,
Do their stuff.
Yes.
I was at the buffet and was loading up on food.
Yes.
And basically, as someone who doesn't really belong in this like hierarchy of society at all.
I will say, just while you were loading up on food, you were mostly loading up on bread rolls and kind of like snacks and hors d'oeuvres.
Sure.
Right? Not so much dinner, because literally dinner will be served like in a bit. So you've been
but
so continue. Sorry.
Food
Yeah.
is food.
Yeah.
And kind of like doesn't talk to anybody because he feels like he's hired as entertainment, as it was told to him, and you don't have the musicians or the, I don't know, fire spitters or something chatting up the guests.
Yeah.
So that's not likely something that would happen. So if he realizes that his cover for loading impolite amounts of food onto his plate is kind of vanishing, he would try to shift into something where he is still obscured, and if he realizes, okay, damn it, the crowd is thinning and going towards the probably banquet tables or something.
Yeah. Basically, there's a bunch of tables that are all kind of slowly being filled and such.
Yeah, he would probably just, if it's like named, so if there's a seating order.
It doesn't look like there's a seating order, so it's literally like first serve, first come. Sorry.
He would probably just migrate with the crowds and sit somewhere in the middle, not at the end of the table, not at the head of the table, somewhere in between.
Okay.
And like really polish his plate empty.
Okay. So just literally just disguising the fact that he's got a lot of food by eating it quickly and then just kind of...
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And he has people left and right from him, and they are just like staring at him like, didn't you eat in like 5 days or something? What's wrong with you? And he's just focusing on politely polishing the plate to make it look like, I never had that much food. So
you will notice that as you like sit down, like some people just seem to like give you an odd stare and like kind of brush away from you, realizing that you are essentially a tiefling, a hellite. Some people kind of almost give you a wide berth. Some don't seem to mind. There's a drunk guy sitting at the table just looking at you like dead in the face almost. Like not out of like fear or anything. He's just like probably like sheer curiosity, just because he's never seen a tiefling up this close, you know? And with the way your horns kind of just protrude and make you very easy, like, pretty much anyone can spot you. You are technically the only tiefling in this hallway.
Yeah, I'm sticking out
Yeah,
like a
like a sore thumb. So as
and-
much as you want to hide, it's very hard for you to even hide.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to counteract or mitigate that effect by basically trying not to be offensive in any way, and at the same time my behavior like avoiding people leads to like sticking out even more. Like super awkward high society behavior.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Anyone else? Does Grom and Ernie want to do something together, or are they kind of still in a huff with each other?
I think that after Grom chucks Ernie off of him for gloating on his shoulders, he would most likely go back to the barmaid he was talking with before, grab a drink before, probably trying to look out for Lord Gilderoy,
Okay.
trying to get a couple extra quick bucks by telling him some stories.
Okay. You can see that Mr. Gilderoy is at the main table currently. He seems to be okay. Trying to figure out where. All right, so yeah, you can see that Gilderoy is at the main table. He has somebody sitting next to him. Other than that, the table's cleared. Like, some people seem to stand up, and Gilderoy's, like, literally just, like, almost handing out pennies, going, "Fantastic story, my friend. Really riveting stuff." And he's like, then he reaches down to this goblet, and then just takes a huge, big old gulp of it, and then slams it on the table as some more people kind of, like, squeeze in and try to get as close as they can just to have a little conversation time with him. What about Ernie?
Yeah, Ernie will just, obviously after picking himself up, after being yeeted by Grom, will kind of like, dust himself off, make himself a bit more presentable, and, if people are like coming up and congratulating him, shaking his hand sort of thing.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Then,
That's by the way, that's where Mr. Garth comes up to you and literally hands you 75 gold and saying, "This is your part in the this is your part of the winnings." Literally just hands it to you and says, "Congratulations, sir. Your boxing was terrific, and if I might say so, your wrestling technique is superb."
well, geez, thank you very much. That's quite a hefty sack you've got there. I mean,
Yes, quite. Anyway, and he just turns around and he just walks straight towards where Mr. Gilderoy.
Yeah, at which point Ernie will kind of like try and somehow stash the bag of gold and like maybe within the shirt, so it looks like he's kind of got like a boob.
Yeah, a boob. Okay, you will see as as Garth seems to walk in between the people. He seems to be handing small bags of money to basically everybody who was technically on your side. So if anyone who was on Ernie's side, you also you gain 25 gold pieces, as it has been split.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It was 100.
Yes, and it was added up and then split into whatever it was. So he won. He got the most amount of it, and everybody else got 25 gold.
You said 75.
I said 75 gold, and then it was split. For everybody who voted for him, they get less. Sorry, not everybody gets 75 gold. That's literally a year's worth of wages. You don't have to do any adventuring. Right? 25 gold is still a lot. 25 is still a lot. It can buy you a sword and some armor.
Yeah. But no, for the rest of it, I'll say Ernie will kind of...
Ernie gets the most,
same
basically.
Sort of, yeah. Ernie will kind of go up and grab another tankard of beer, and effectively he will have a scout around the room for the most attractive looking women in the room.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh god. Skill. Why is this not holding up? There we go. Perception.
I hope not.
Oops. Perception.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're all back. It's just like everything froze and there was no audio. I
Oh.
don't know when I cut out talking.
Yeah, don't look. Ooh, there's a 9.
Unfortunately, since you refuse to get on a stool to look, you don't really see anybody. So you just end up kind of like wandering around the crowds, kind of looking up, seeing like, all sorts of breasts, thighs. You're not really sure if it's, man or woman until you get like a good look at their faces. There's probably a better way for you to do this. So you just end up, taking your drinks and then kind of getting lost in the crowd as you make your way through them.
I'll probably say at one point, like as I make way through, if I eventually like come across Hess Arturo or
Yep.
that at one point, like I don't know if he was on my side or not, but just kind of like maybe accidentally sort of bump into him to maybe start a conversation.
Oh, sure. I can see that. You know what? I don't know if you would know Hess or
I was going to say, would we know the Arturo mercenaries?
No, because they're not they're not very Trino specific. They're more Dwarven Empire kind of.
Okay.
So I don't think you wouldn't really know who he is.
Right.
But dwarf leering at a woman, you might kind of get some feelings of remorse or regret. That is technically true. So the fact is, unfortunately, though, you failed your perception check, so you don't quite get to see that, unfortunately.
Like I said, I'll just spend the time wandering around the room then.
Okay. We'll see how that works for now. Thank you very much, Mr. Hobo. All right. Speaking of entertainment, though, Astrid and Octavia, are you guys going to be doing something for the pre-dinner, or are you guys just going to continue to sit around and talk to Mr. Gilroy?
I mean, the
Dinner
Nine
is
Lives Traveling Theater playing or no?
no, that's tomorrow. That event is the theater is tomorrow. That's been lined up on the schedule. But right now, it's literally there's like a couple of stringed instruments being played. Dancing girls and men walking past these tables, like refilling and taking old tankards away. It's literally just kind of like more like a high estate kind of not to say like whorehouse or anything, but very, very fancy, beautiful people who are way too beautiful for anybody who's been in a tavern. Usually a town has like maybe one or two pretty girls and a pretty boy, and the rest are kind of let's just say -2 charisma. This is like they've paid for very pretty people to serve them drinks.
Got it. I gotta write a book on this. I would say, like, since we were probably like leaving Gilderoy's area after the whole fight, probably met up with Astrid, and probably as we were walking into the room, Octavia is probably gonna do another round of the song that she sang to kind of cheer on Ernie in the fight, just to kind of as another like hurrah to the fight.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you climb up onto a table, or what's your plan? Astrid as backup vocals.
Yeah, she would probably do that.
Absolutely not.
Astrid, let's give him a little excitement here, and just like kind of just knocks over a bunch of plates and cups that are full of wine, and climbs up onto a table, spilling stuff over like the tablecloths, and starts singing.
Oh, not again.
Here
we go.
All right, give me a performance check. Astrid, are you helping in any way, or are you just watching?
Well, I think Astrid's probably been pulled into Octavia song shenanigans prior, so I'll probably try to do something, not sing, but.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, like, how would you want to help? Essentially, like, literally, like.
I'm gonna keep beat on the table.
Oh, you're doing some drums. Okay, I mean,
and I have a bag of money, so I can ding, ding, ding.
I love the idea. I love the idea of like Octavia trying to get some money and doing a performance, and you're throwing money at people. It's
No,
like,
no, not throwing. No. I'm holding no, because
I know.
this bag of money. She's very excited,
Yeah.
and also wondering if the money's actually real, because
Yeah.
magic clothes. But it's a lot, but it's in a little bag. You
Yep.
said so. I've got like this little bag, and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. And
It's
I'm
heavy.
shaking the bag, and
Oh.
so, but it jingles, right?
It jingles. It's heavy.
So yeah, like a maraca, but a bag.
Mhm.
And kind of banging on the table, trying to keep beat.
Okay.
I don't know how well I'll keep beat, but
Give me
I guess we
give me a
can,
performance check then, I guess. Unless you want to do that with
whoops. Oh,
advantage.
shit.
Want to do it with advantage, Panda? You know what? I'll let you guys decide.
Well, let's see how I roll.
Roll again if you want.
I just sigh
Woo!
because Octavia's first step knocks over my drink, and the second kicks my plate half through the room, and I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not very charismatic.
You are actually just really counting the money. Yeah.
Maybe like hit it on the table.
Looking
opens up.
around. No.
You're shaking the bag, going, "That's not 75 gold," and then, and then you're just opening it and just going, "Wait a minute." Yeah.
Octavia's just like belting.
And pulling out one of the coins and biting it, like,
Oh.
is this real or is it magic?
Okay, it seems to be real. Your teeth like kind of bend it slightly. It seems real. All right, okay, Octavia. Give me a rendition of what you're technically gonna start. Singing and harassing everybody at this entertaining dining hall for the most part. I'm not saying you could have to sing it. I'm just saying what does everybody see as you do this?
I mean, she's kind of doing like a second rendition of the one like she did at the fight. So like she's climbing on the table, knocking some shit over, pulling out her lyre, and like maybe the string instruments like hear her starting to play and are like kind of slowly stop and like what
Or play along. You know what? Give me. I will. Dice. So I'm gonna just use the secret one. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, damn. Natural 20. All right. Okay. You know what? Yeah, they actually, it's almost like they know this song and they just start, going along with you, with their string instruments, kind of blending it in and creating, a surround sound effect in the hall.
Got it.
Ernie, unfortunately, can't hear any of this because he's trapped below.
So kind of changing up the song. Even though Ernie is small, he surely won the brawl. Rom might be tall, but he definitely took the fall, giving us all the winnings for all.
Yeah.
Just the mention of small. There's a beer tankard flying towards Octavia.
Okay, roll to hit.
Wait. Do I see this tankard flying?
Well, no, probably not. We'll have to see if it hits first.
Well, no, because because I have interception.
Okay, I don't know what that is. What you'll have to.
When a creature you can see hits another creature within 5 feet of you,
Okay.
with an attack roll, I can take a reaction to reduce the damage dealt.
Okay, you know what? Is it a roll or is it just something you can do?
Reduce the damage by 1d10 plus my proficiency.
Okay,
bonus.
I'll be honest. That's probably enough. It's only going to do 1 damage.
Oh wait, you must be holding a shield or a weapon. Never mind.
Okay, yeah.
No weapons.
You have a money bag.
Damn it.
Hold the bag.
I have a money.
You got it. Yeah,
I have a
you're
money
gonna.
bag.
Are you gonna use your money bag to deflect the tankard as it comes flying out of the fucking crowd and literally just almost clips? You know what? You know what? It does hit you. Where does it hit you? It's up to you. I will let you role play that.
Oh, no. How do I roll this? No. I think it's just the automatic.
Well, it's just grabbing an arrow from the air, right? It's
Rich
the same kind of thing.
Knox just followed.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Nux.
climbing up on the table in the middle is, I guess, maybe it hits like Octavia in the back.
In the back,
She's just
yeah.
Not really paying attention too much to it.
Yeah, okay. It does 1 point of damage, so it's up to you how you want to deal with it, right? It's not a technically with your. I'll say this technically. Ernie is a tavern brawler, so an improvised weapon does do more damage than usual. But just for role-playing purposes, we're gonna say it does 1 damage, all right?
That's As she's finishing up the song and like gets hit by the tankard, she's like, all right, I get it. My song sucks, and starts climbing down the table and knocking some more shit over. And hey, Payne.
You literally get like a bunch of like claps as like the song comes to an end. Ernie, and then like you just hear like all the table like slamming as they take the tankards and just bang it into the hollow wood. Yeah, okay. So,
He
let's...
climbs down. I had just refilled my cup,
Yeah.
and with the last step, basically with the heel of her foot, it's clonk, donk, donk, choo. And I'm like, this is really not my day.
You know what? Actually, technically, I think if we went back, we should make the tankard that Ernie threw hit you instead.
That's fair. I take it.
But
I am all for this to not be Noxus beat down.
Anyway, moving on. So we have let's just say for brevity, Mogren and Chief Indigo. They seem to get to a point in the conversation where Godwin finds Mr. Mogren. Yeah, we'll go from that. So Chief Indigo goes, so it's quite really interesting to see many of the cultures coming together and learning from each other's weaknesses, and of course, considering the fact that the gods have been dead for so long. Truly, it's remarkable to hear that some others have such beliefs in their faith that they can even reincarnate themselves. Truly remarkable. I read it in one of the finest books. Just can't remember the name.
Hey, Godwin.
Morgan.
Oh, yes, this is Mr. Godwin you were telling me about. He is am I correct in saying this, a Kagkamite?
That's very close.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kagkamites are, they're not, quite well known, especially in my field of expertise.
That's nothing to it, sir. Would you... at the moment, Godwin just kind of almost rolls his eyes back, trying to remember something.
Yeah.
And like almost rehearsed and not even in his own voice, mimicking obviously someone else who's been telling him that for a long period of time, trying to force him to either memorize it or to live by this. Our goal is to do honor to the dead, for their strivings in life brought Gardenia to where it is now, and to forget them is to forget where we are now, and why.
Oh, yes, very, very, I hear you. It is remarkable that your brotherhood is not a part of our collective, but all manners of necromancy and demonic magic are frowned upon. Perhaps they cross too closely to make their way into my religious backgrounds. Unfortunately here, especially in Tragos, and of course Trino, they seem to frown upon things that they don't understand. Take the tiefling, for instance, over there. They seem to think that they can open hell gates, which is ridiculous. No one can amass that much magic without a horrible amount of blood sacrifice. But the layman will never know that. He just takes a big gulp of his wine.
Morgan just stares at Pyrian. He could do that? Whoa.
I think he's too hungry to do that now.
Well,
outside of that, I guess Lady Fardasher is still sitting next to them.
She is currently tucking into what looks like some sort of crab cake.
Oh.
Kind of like not even really eating it. She's just kind of like poking at it.
Godwin will like still hugging the basket, still kind of lean in and will try to be very polite. Congratulations on your recent marriage, Lady Arturo.
Thank you, Mr. Godwin, was it?
Yes, ma'am. Godwin Wolfsbane, Doomguard of Kellamore.
Ah, duo. What a quite a fancy title you have there. Interesting enough. I respect. I respect all religious orders of some sort, and considering you're telling me that you respect the dead, rather intriguing.
Mostly the dead.
Our clan.
Everyone deserves a good burial.
I would agree. Our clan is death is very important in our upbringings. It's only part of the culture that I am hopefully going to bring towards the dwarves at some point. That is what I and Mr. Chief Indicator, have kind of brought forward to Arturo, despite his resistance to our more of a business. Thanks, babe. How you doing, babe? Our interest in basically how the world itself kind of joins, because you can see a human like me marrying a dwarf, some would frown upon.
Why?
Well, just because of bigotry.
Well, my best friend is a dwarf.
Really? Who's that?
Godwin just points towards Morgren.
Oh, you two are together. That's adorable.
Oh.
Yeah.
and
Astrid, and Ernie, and Grom, and Octavia, and Purian, and Haas.
Oh,
we're all together.
A polyamorous relationship. That's fascinating.
Yeah, Garth brought us here.
Margaret, you did it again.
What?
I'll explain later.
So
thank you.
As the dinner seems to carry on, Gilderoy sits up from the table, walks over to what looks like a half-elf man, as like son, Mr. What is it? His son's Fletcher. That's his name. Thank you very much, because he's literally a bow expert. I can't remember. I forgot my own guy's name.
He's a renowned archer.
He's a renowned archer that nobody wants to talk to. So his dad's going to talk to him.
I'm afraid of talking to him.
So he goes over to his son, and you don't really hear the conversation much, but he is literally at the table across from you. And then literally he comes over and gives you all a look over. Lady Arturo, lovely to have you here. I will admit that I'm quite happy to see that you and Chief Indigo are definitely enjoying the food. Dinner will be soon. Excuse me, Mr. Morgren, and of course, the Kellamite. Interesting. Knights of Death. Sounds fascinating.
Thank you, sir.
So he talks just like his dad.
No. This is he
This
passed.
is still the dad.
His dad walked past him. We checked up on him, and then he came over to the table.
Thank you, Gilderoy's sir. going around to everybody.
Your parties are fascinating too.
Well, it's a good thing, because religious orders are boring. No offense, Chief Indigo. And he just kind of like walks on, tankard in hand, walking to the next table. He literally then stops.
He just slapped 3 religious men across the face.
He just stops and then walks, literally sees like 2 pointed like horns in the air, like ducking down to eat. He can only assume another bread roll as he approaches Perian, walking up to you, putting his foot on the bench, and literally staring you dead in the face, Perian, as he goes, "There you are, monster hunter. Now, I want you to tell me your grittiest story."
As he slams down, Pyrian of course seizes up, because normally that means for him, okay, either bar fight or he gets kicked out. Then he remembers, oh shit, that's the guy who pays me. And then he puts on his best, most polite smile. Of course, sir. Would you like me to get right in, or would you like to have the preamble as well?
I want you to tell me a fascinating story.
As you wish, sir. Well,
better make it racy, because if it's not, it'll be boring.
Well, I shall try my best. I was hired by the local farmers because many of their farm animals turned up as very ugly statues in the middle of the pastures.
Ah,
They first, of course, as folk of their proclivity, suspected a curse from a local woman that is suspected to be a witch. But it turned out there was a cockatrice who was nesting in the nearby woods near the pasture and saw the farm animals as its prey.
a cockatrice.
As it is, the bite of the cockatrice is usually very problematic in that respect that it turns people and living animals into stone.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
How may I? Sorry, not to interrupt your story, but how, in God's name, did you figure it out?
Well, of course, there were tracks I could follow.
Devious.
But yes, but the main thing was that curses usually target one person, and then usually persons and not animals. And if curses are spoken against animals, it would be far easier to just poison them or just let them basically die off than to turn them into stone. It's a lot of work for very little gain, if you understand what I mean.
Yes, it's like robbing a blind man who's poor. You're getting nothing out of it.
Indeed.
Yes, I understand.
So I took the local farmers together and we formed several groups because the trick, and Pyrian is getting into the story and his timid demeanor changes a bit as he gets into the nitty-gritty details of the thing. And he goes, and the thing with cockatrices is you have to basically keep them occupied so they can't bite anyone. The problem with this one was that it was a fully grown specimen, and these are really nasty fellas. It bit two before we could leap into action and basically turned them into stone on the spot. And that, of course, frightened the other groups, which weren't experienced with these kind of pests.
Fascinating.
So,
Yes.
and then
You
he
can see,
goes-
just before you go into it more, you
Yeah.
can kind of see that he's leaning down onto his knee, almost kind of like stroking at his beard. Can you give me a performance check as well, please, while you continue your story?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. Unfortunately, my headset is running out of charge. Just have to change the battery.
That's okay.
1 second.
While that's happening, let's just quickly go to... Right, so just, you can see, for the most part, you have, Mr. Gilderoy is making it very obvious that he's going round, right? He's making his rounds, he's making sure that everyone's fed, everyone's everyone's got a drink in their hands. So you can kind of also hear every so often he'll just like bleed out and almost interrupt the story to like whoever he's talking to. He did it with his son, he did it with Chief Indigo and Margaret and Godwin. Okay, right, that's fine. Yeah. Continue, sorry.
And then after it petrified two of them, it jumped on the other two and basically tore them apart, because not only the bite you have to look out for, but also the claws. So that was also a rather significant problem. Well, at the end we were 3 left before I could manage to jump onto its back and basically decapitate it before it could bite me in the foot, and I would have suffered the same fate.
Amazing. What happened to the corpse? I would pay you a fine penny to take it off your hands.
Unfortunately, I had to deliver the corpse to my... And he takes a very sour expression, beneficiary, who wanted the corpse for his taxidermy collection.
Aha! That would make a lot of sense. I assume a monster-hunting tiefling like yourself has a very hard time getting around without your papers.
Yes.
Well, no worries. You probably have no real hiccups here. I don't really care for those Tragonian rules. You might have some hiccups with the local Trino guards and their elite units, but here you're probably quite well. Buy this man a drink, would ya? And he literally just knocks the drunk guy who's been watching this whole time, and he stands up going, yes, my lord, yes, my lord." And he just quickly runs over and grabs the nearest drink from a tray, bringing it over and kind of like scraping it across the table kind of nervously. Well, that was a fascinating story, Mr. Tyrion. Lovely. Fantastic. Here, have 3 gold on me. And he just, like, skirts it across the table and drops it down, puts his hand on top of it and goes, you probably should work on your storytelling. You're friends with that Octavia lady, correct?
Well, we just met yesterday. So...
Ah, well, you should probably learn a few things from them. They can exaggerate any story and make it interesting.
I see. I will do so.
And he then kind of like turns on his heel and just walks off towards the nearest person, which we'll take for the most part. We'll just say Mr. Yeah, no, we could do, let's say, you know what? Because technically Grom you were looking for, right? Grom, you're very easy to spot too. So Grom, let's just say he literally wanders right up to you. Grom, lovely. Are you getting plastered, my friend?
Is that you, Mr. Gildy Boy?
Gildy Roy. Mallory.
Yeah, that's what Grom said. Gildy Boy, Gildy Roy, Mallory, Hallory. Same things.
I think I'm pretty sure I know the likes that you hang out with.
I mean, hopefully it's the good kind of likings.
Well, I would like to say, Grob, you put up a good fight, but you know what? Losing every so often builds character. I wouldn't know, of course, because I've never lost.
Oh, that Ernie's a good fighter. You saw how he wrapped around me throat like that. He's crafty with him.
He's like a ginger nut. Small and powerful.
Now, Mr. Gildy Boy, you might not want to let him catch you saying that. He gets lair.
I would say one thing.
Crikey.
If he can't take criticism, perhaps he doesn't earn that 75 gold.
Now, hold on. There was gold.
I don't pay losers, unfortunately, Grom. Better luck next time. Perhaps you could tell me one of your roughhousing stories. I know Mr. Hoss, where is the man? And he kind of glances over, looking around, going, ah, well, he must have skipped. I don't think I see him. Well, perhaps you could tell me.
Hoss does that from time to time.
He's quite a, well, an unknown, as we'll say. But he was telling me a really interesting story about how you essentially, and was it both you and Mr. Ernie, rose up from the streets in your street fighting?
Oh no, that wasn't no Ernie. That was straight Grom. Grom's the one who does the brawls. Ernie, he likes to sit back in his little chair and keep his nails clean.
Oh, I see. So you got beat by a mama's boy.
He's not no mama's boy. He likes to keep his nails clean because it helps him choke me. The cleaner the nails, the longer your nails, and it helps you strangle. You see, you've never, I'm sure a man of your caliber's never had to get his nails dirty, so you've got real good strangling hands. Nice and strong for you.
I will admit I've never strangled a man.
Oh, Mr. Gilderoy, you got to try it. Next time you're in a bar fight, you just grab him and squeeze.
You kind of see that Gilderoy kind of takes a step back, almost a little worried, as she starts talking about squeezing. Yes.
Look, don't you worry. You usually got to let go before they, ain't there no more.
Right, yes. Oh, well, it's good to know that, I suppose. Perhaps you and Ernie could come to my table and we'll have a little chat. You could tell me more about your brawling shenanigans. I have to talk to Mr. Octavia Mrs. Octavia over there. And then
I'll tell you one of the stories about our big old bar fights.
I would love that. So here, take this, and he literally reaches behind him as one of these dancing girls comes up. He grabs 2 of the tankards, literally puts them on the in your hands, and goes, "Those 2 are for you and I will share the finest whiskey spirits at my table."
Grom's liking that idea.
Right.
I'll be there.
Righto. Give me a second, chap. When he literally just walks past, hits Ernie with his knee. Oh, sorry, didn't see you down there. Hello, Ernie.
And with that, Grom is going to down one of his 2 tankards.
Okay. Ernie, you.
Another tanker gets cleaned up.
There you are.
No, he's the host. Better not.
There you are, champion. It's good to see you. I'm going to share some whiskey spirits with your friend Grum. Of course, in good spirits, you know. Just because there's a winner doesn't mean there's a loser, even though there totally was a loser.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Grom's the biggest loser of them all.
He is quite a chap. 8 foot tall. Anyway, excuse me, gentlemen. I have to go talk to Octavia. And he kind of just saunters past the 2 of you, walking over to Astrid for a moment, who, I guess, Astrid, you're still counting the gold?
No.
No?
No, I've heard the story that he's asking people for stories, so I'm like, okay, if he asks me a story, I got to be ready for a story, remembering Auntie Octavia, even though I don't have really any adventures, so I'm making up a story in case he asks me.
Okay, well, he seems to be approaching you. I was just asking what you're doing right now, as you're thinking of this story. Because he's literally approaching you. I just assumed you were counting your gold, or, looking at the bag and trying to make sure,
I'm whispering over to Auntie Octavia. Auntie, is that Fletcher, the well-known? I wonder if he has any tips for me. That would be fantastic. That's the wrong accent.
That's the wrong accent.
Southern.
Yeah.
Like Southern.
Come on,
English.
I got to do it.
Well, I do declare.
There you go for that. As you start saying it, literally he goes, yes, you're talking about my boy Fletcher. He's a lovely man. You should go and talk to him. I hear that you hunt around the kingdom of, well, not kingdom, it's more of a city, but you do hunt around the city walls of Trinno.
Yes, sir, I do.
That is amazing. That's truly spectacular. It takes a lot of willpower to be good with a bow and arrow.
Yes.
So, I would like, I do know a lot about your auntie, did you say? I didn't know you had any blood relatives, Octavia. I'll talk to you in a minute. It literally just kind of brushes you aside and just making Astrid kind of the main focus right now. As he puts his knee up right in front of you on the desk, kind of just swinging his genitals in your face almost.
Loincloth on.
Yeah, no loincloth, but he is kind of presenting himself as.
I'm short.
So tell me one of your famous hunting stories.
Right. So, how many stories start with a dark and stormy night? Well, no, it wasn't that. It was just a beautiful day, and it was getting kind of dusky, and I was going out to do my normal, hunting for the village, getting rabbits and deer. And as I was out and I was doing my sneaky thing, I heard behind me somebody call my name. I heard, Astrid. And what? I knew I was alone. I felt the ground, and I listened to the ground, like dwarves do, and I knew there was nothing there. And I thought, well, maybe I just drank a glass of bad ale. So I just kept hunting and didn't hear it for hours. And then there it was again, but it sounded closer. It was Astrid. And I just turned. I saw nothing. And I'm not a stupid dwarf. So I just, cleaned my animals that I'd caught, and I just hightailed it out of there. And as I came into town, I'm coming into town, and the people, they're all talking, they're all chattering, and they're all warning people, don't go out in the woods because and off script, I don't know if this animal exists in your world,
Okay,
but,
yep. It can be a deception check if you want to lie. It's up to
Well,
you. Like, it's
they
either
were
performance.
talking
So.
about the mythical. Some people don't even believe it's real, but they said that the chupacabra was out, and then I was like, wait a minute, but I heard my name called, and I mean, I grew up with these stories. That's what they do. So I sort of came face to face with a chupacabra.
Le
Chupacabra.
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 Ah.
And
The-
I lived, so
The Dust Devil himself.
Do I hear that story? Do I hear that conversation?
You are. You're technically like two tables over, I guess. So you could hear it, but I don't know if you would want to interject or not. But as the story is being told,
I would just after I hear that part, I would just use a little thaumaturgy to basically whisper into Astrid's ear. The like she described it, the voice of the chupacabra basically whispering her name.
Okay. So you do it
just
to Gilderoy.
mess with her a little bit.
Oh, to Gilderoy, to Astrid. Okay.
But magic doesn't work here.
No.
No. Weapons don't work.
Weapons don't work.
I thought magic also didn't work here.
No. Magic works. Magic works. It's just you don't have your weapons. That's all. Otherwise, you would be naked right now because of all the scrolls that were used to change your uniforms.
Well, you know, magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
No, but like it's harmless. It's like thaumaturgy is harmless in itself, so it literally just creates a little bit of ambience. I want you to roll a performance. Nah, you can do deception, I guess. Because technically I can't say it, so it doesn't exist in my world. A Chupacabra, okay. Roll a deception check, but with advantage. Because of Perian literally adding an effect to like kind of add it because
I'm rolling.
Yes,
it
you're rolling. Yeah.
With advantage.
With
so
advantage,
yeah. I can click advantage. Okay, good because my charisma.
Just
sucks.
so you inherently kind of helped because the whisper just goes like Astrid.
13.
And then like literally Mr. Gilderoy himself takes a step back, going, "That story, fantastic! The Dust Devil." The demon hunting down a hunter. It sounds fascinating. I'm sure your auntie's probably already written a book about it. Miss Astrid, fantastic beard, by the way.
Well, the magic is hot.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, you can see it because this magic, it scared me that I had a clean-shaven face.
Unfortunately, the magic in this, in these spells does kind of behave oddly. It takes some quite enchanting to really, make it work. You can't.
Every once in a while, I reach up and just to make sure it's there, like my safety blanket, and I just, okay, I'm good.
Well, excuse me. And he literally just like turns to your auntie and then goes,
"And you put me in a dress?"
He turns around and then looks at Octavia. Octavia, fantastic ballad. I have to say, it's going to be on your list.
Money for my story.
You can see he literally, you literally see. Okay, actually, I completely forgot. So he literally like hands you another pouch. Instead of another pouch, he adds you another 5 coins. Putting it on the table as he then turns to Octavia and then.
Yeah.
So, Miss Octavia, your ballad, of course, needs to be added to my many musicians. Perhaps you could share the music.
Oh, I can write it down for you, Mr. Gilderoy. This is a great party you got here. I really appreciate you bringing us here. Like, all these beautiful people. It gives me such ideas for some really saucy stories, but.
Well, of course, you are one of the most renowned writers, secret pornography.
Well, and others.
Yes, but, it makes some money. So, fantastic. Now...
Yeah, there's a lot of perverts out there.
Yes, unfortunately. Yes. So, I was going to ask you, I was looking for Mr. Haas, but he seems to be missing. Perhaps you could take... perhaps you would like to join me at my table.
Oh, I would love to join you at your table.
Yes.
Would my kid niece be able to join us here as well? She's kind of like trying to learn all these new people, and she wants to get an inn started. So I'm trying to I want to try to introduce her to some of these people around here.
Of course, of course. And if she wishes to go talk to Fletcher, perhaps they might hit it off, and we might hear wedding bells.
I mean, yeah, we could probably make a deal of some sort with that, or. Well, actually, maybe I should check with Astrid, see how she feels about that. I don't know. Maybe it's off selling people for a little bit.
Well, we can always talk about it next time. I mean, you only turn 100 once.
Yeah, you only turn like 117 times or something like that, right?
I don't really know. I've never died. And I'm only half-elf, not full-elf, so perhaps it works differently for full elves. I'm not quite sure. I probably should ask my dad.
You look like a full person to me, right?
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, never mind. Semantics on a species that's too old to know any better. Come.
I've seen your cry before, but yeah, let's go to the table. Let's go hang out with your son. See how he's doing.
You do realize that Fletcher himself is not sitting at the main table. He's got his own table with a bunch of people surrounding him.
Oh no, he's at the kiddie table.
No, he's just across. He's just across, sitting at a different table with his own people. A couple of guards to watch over him and that kind of stuff. I am gonna share screen so that you guys can basically get seated and pick your seats as dinner technically is starting to get served.
I would say that, like, as we're kind of talking, and like she doesn't notice that Fletcher's not at the table because she's flipping through like notepad that she's like,
what kind of story can I try to get him to sell this time? I need a new one. This one's not good. No, I don't like that one. Oh, he said no to that one last time.
Okay, I'm just gonna literally throw these out here. You can get a vague where you guys are.
It's weird because I don't see the map.
You need to
I just
drag.
see your pins.
You need to drag your character on top of it, and then full load. Hopefully.
Yeah, it needs to load a little bit.
I guess we'll just.
It's okay. It's this. Like I said, this map is literally just for reference. It's not. We're not
Yeah,
using
no,
it.
and I can look on screen if it doesn't. That's fine.
And you guys can basically already kind of figure out where you guys are already. Have a situation with also the empty tables aren't necessarily empty. It's just the important characters are highlighted for importance, right? As you notice the main door, Mr. Garth himself is sitting by sitting basically kind of waiting. He seems to approach the main table for a bit, and then kind of like talk to Gilderoy and then work his way back. And he seems to be going back and forth between. Everybody, you might want to drag your tokens onto the map. Everyone's got like the where or anything.
trying to figure out where.
Yeah, I still don't have a map.
Should pop.
See where Gilderoy is. I don't see any of the maps.
You don't see anything? That's okay.
Give it some time.
It's
I've sat and waited for it a bit. Don't worry.
How
It's
do
just
I
a main
put
character.
my...
It might be
the top corner, like you see the top tokens.
yeah,
You
yeah.
drag that onto the map.
Just drag and drop.
Just drag and drop.
There it is. It just popped for me.
Drag and drop. That reminds me of a different story.
Dragons and drops.
Dragons and droppings.
It's literally a novel about the dragons drag off.
So where?
I was gonna talk about that one time that dwarf got picked up by a dragon and dropped over a city, but.
Sorry, what was that, Marcy?
How do I drag my token to the other map?
You just ran.
You literally just from your icon at the top.
You can just drag that token from the top onto the map.
Man,
hopefully.
pop pushed.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. You can delete the other one. We won't need it for now. Like, but you should only have technically one token, but it's fine. Like I said, it's representation. Not that important.
Okay, because whenever I hit the find token thing, it brought
It went
me
to the
up
other map.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, I deleted that one.
It's that map will still exist, but you know, if you go to the Oak Tavern, it's not like you're gonna have a fight
Yeah,
there.
no, I mean,
So
delete,
you're
I
right.
deleted the token.
Yeah.
I should say, not the map.
All right,
The
so
token.
if you guys want to put yourselves where you currently are, you notice that the doors are held open. 2 guards literally just standing there as dinner starts to be served.
Oh, so dinner is being. So we have to go sit down to eat.
Essentially,
but
yeah.
there's no places at Fletcher's table.
You can you can let's just say you can make room if you want to talk to Fletcher. Like it's literally up to you.
Do you think I'm sitting on the
Yeah.
floor?
Yeah, it's representation. There are enough chairs. Basically, these aren't even chairs. They're kind of like benches. You know, it's
Just assume you have a seat.
yeah. Assume you have a seat.
Okay.
Okay. So once everyone is settled, we'll say for brevity, Astrid, you take a seat and you sit down next to what looks like 2 men, a very peculiar fellow, who is kind of like, he stands up, he gives you a nod, stands up, and then walks out and like towards the kitchen. The woman, is she seems almost like like red in the face as she sits down, like she's been running,
Okay.
and she's like she pulls out a fan and literally just starts like waving her to cool herself, as the room seems quite, it's not too hot, but she's been under some activity, as you would see it. Like she's been running in the forest or something. But you recognize this in as some sort of exercise. Fletcher kind of glances to you, literally, almost like letting you sit down, and then just moves the big pitcher of ale and just starts pouring it for you. So, hello there. I am Fletcher, and you are?
Well, hello there, sir. My name is Astrid. Thank you for the beer. I'll chug it down like a good dwarf would.
Aha! Yes.
Bang it.
That is precisely what I want to see, my dwarves.
You're yeah, yes, sir. So, I'll reach out my hand. I'm happy to meet you, sir.
Fantastic to meet you. He kind of just leans in and literally, like, almost like he's showing off. Like he takes your hand and then reaches down and pushes with his other hand into the table, knocks a fork off the table that starts spinning in the air. He grabs it and then kind of like throws it past you, and it hits the corkboard behind you. Slightly off to the left a little. It's not that impressive. But he's like, yeah, as you can tell, I'm quite impressive.
I'll kind of look back at it and, oh my, that was fantastic. I would love to, as they say, sit at the feet, and I would love to hear a story. I'm an aspiring ranger myself, and you never can learn enough. So I would love to hear a story, one of your adventures, something. Boy, I would just.
Well,
and I kind of fan myself like, oh.
you can see that, like, he kind of like puts his foot up, kind of trying to mimic his dad a little bit, and then kind of like then starts to just go on a story.
Is he wearing a loincloth?
No, he's got really tight like tunic pants. But you do realize, yeah, you do realize, like, after like about 10 minutes before, like, he's just talking about his tournament victories. And you can see, like, on the table in front of you, there seems to be like 7 medals, all that says, top in Trino, Tragos, like literally just kind of some of the names of cities that you recognize, some of them you don't. There is actually one for Durham, which is like not very well documented. But they do have technically an archery competition out there.
So he's a show pony.
You just from his stories, he doesn't really have any adventurers. He's just a really good archer, just on a more practical level than an adventuring level.
Right. Well. So what type of bowstrings do you use? What do you find works the best? What kind of wood do you use for your bow? I mean, what if you were to pass on some of your amazing skills and knowledge to a young aspiring ranger. And mine, I don't do the competition thing. I just I hunt, I help people, that kind of thing, right? So no, not a threat. Not that my skills are nearly anything. And I'll look again at the fork in the wall. Whew. Not that my skills are anything matched to yours, sir.
Well, let me just have a quick, I as a man of pretty much, basic. He kind of seems to be like waffling a little bit. And then he sees Garth going, Garth, my friend, my boy, my friend, yes. And he literally Garth comes over and kind of just like looks at him. He says, yes, sir. Like, yeah, what kind of bow wood do I use? Yes, the finest. Of course, you use the finest elven wood, of course, from one of the many striped trees that are personally collected from your father's lumber yards. We have them handmade by pretty much some of the finest wood elves, and the strings, of course, are hand-produced by several of the handmaidens that Mr. Gilderoy himself has at his service. Then we bring them all together and build them here on this very island. It's quite impressive. We have very many craftsmen that Mr. Gilderoy himself knows. And as you could probably know from Octavia telling you many stories of Mr. Gilderoy, he is a fine importer and exporter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I was going to say it's yes. And he kind of like he looks down and kind of like starts to scribble notes. You've literally caught like nobody seems to ever ask him these things, and so he's kind of trying to make up for like lost face as he writes down the thing and underlining things. Garth then turns and literally wanders over here to this man and give me a perception check real quick, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Perception. There we go. That's something I'm. Ugh.
Okay.
So much for being proficient in
the man literally turns and looks at him, gives him a smile and gives him a nod, and then he wanders off, and Garth wanders off in this direction too.
Okay. I'm just gonna like reach. I'm gonna pull the fork out and say, "Well, I imagine you'll need this for eating. I need to go join my auntie. But sir, it was great pleasure to meet you." And I'll walk away and I'm like, "What's this guy?" And yeah.
And this is probably, this is probably not the first time that you've met somebody who has been pretended to be somebody that they aren't. So that's literally just kind of how it goes in the higher echelon of nobles, dukes. All right. Let's just see. Yeah. Okay. So as we can, as like the food, like table, like not the food is not brought out yet, but the plates are replaced, knives and forks are put out, wine, like fine wine glasses are set up. And you can kind of see that everybody seems to be kind of like getting ready for a speech. Let me just see. Out of curiosity. Yes, okay. We will say here, as Garth is standing here, can I get a perception check from Godwin and Mogren and Tyrion? I should technically do like a passive perception, but this is just as he's walking past.
If I can get the window up, sure.
I recommend putting your character sheet on.
Refresh my audio. Refresh my audio?
Refresh your audio.
What does that mean?
It means your audio smells manic.
My audio shit right now?
It sounds fine to me.
I can't refresh my audio because I don't have it going through a cable, so...
11, 4, and 22.
Yeah. Lynx thinks so too. I listen on stream, you sound pretty alright.
Try a refresh?
Maybe Maybe Eric needs to refresh his page.
Huh? I can hear the group. Okay.
He's just mad. He's just mad he can't.
No.
do
Well,
his
I mean, I want it to be audible, right? That's God, that's the whole premise of streaming it. All right. Sorry. Margaret. Okay, cool. Thank you, Margaret. Distorted sounds earlier, but it's gone. Okay, good to know, because my microphone has been shit, and I need to replace it. Unfortunately, that's fine. Right. So, but it's just you. Okay. It literally will be my microphone then. Hopefully we can get past it. Right. I need to literally figure out how to replace it or fix it. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll see. Right. Moving on. Focusing on the story so far. Margaret, as you are literally drinking your ale, you see a man approach Garth, and you can hear him say, "We're ready to begin. We're going to kill him." And so suddenly a chime rings out in the ballroom. The servants quickly begin preparing the room for the dinner service. Garth basically kind of leads everybody so that they're all sitting down. As you can see, everybody has their seats taken. You'll do realize that suddenly, like, Mr. Hess Arturo himself makes his way around, sits at the end of the table here. He's no longer got the woman at his side. She's sitting over here by the rest of the group. Let me just see. Quick.
And Hess sits next to Morgren.
Sorry, say again. Sorry.
As Hess.
Oh yeah, Hess sits next to Morgan. Yep, go for it.
Sits next to Morgan. I'm gonna excuse myself and walk over to Godwin.
Okay.
And then
you can see that Hess, Mr. Arturo himself, he's sitting at the chair, and already he has a plate of hors d'oeuvres that he's clearly like stored up, as Perian has, almost, and he's just stuffing his face, kind of like not even waiting.
That's okay. I'm gonna go to Godwin, and I am gonna say, no, that doesn't work. I'm gonna be like, all of a sudden, a very serious tone. Whisper to him, I think we should be prepared for trouble very soon. Is it possible for me to, because I still had my my necklace, right? My symbol.
Your symbol? Yep, you got a symbol.
Can I somehow? I want to cast a spell.
Okay. You won't be able to do it. You won't be able to do it quietly unless it's got vocal, like unless it's just symbols or whatever. But
yeah, it's vocal. It's everything.
So it will draw attention, and you might have to just wait for shit to go down.
Okay.
In order to do that, or you can do it preemptively. It's literally it's up to you, right? But like I said, dinner is literally starting. Everybody seems to be calming down, sitting down. And you have, like, Hess Arturo is just sitting there, like, his feet are up on another chair since you got up, he's just using it as a stool now. And, like, literally just munching on his food. You can see his wife across from him, just, like, staring at him like, this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sit back down again.
Oh, he looks at you and then just pulls his feet away and just,
And then just keep my eyes peeled.
Okay. As you sit down.
While that happens, I will just out of character. Was the Garth the one who said we're ready to begin, or was it the? It was
the man beside him who basically leaned in and said we're ready to begin.
Okay.
Got
it.
Even though, okay, right, yep. Oh.
Outside of that, yes, Godwin will just put the basket on the ground for the first time and kind of kick it under the desk. Slightly like apologies to the lady Arturo, and starts just eyeing the crowd with just kind of twisting in his chair to take a better look at the I guess Gilderoy's desk.
Okay.
Like keeping, I'm gonna say like, is it possible for Godwin to like kind of keep things in his peripheral vision with both Gilderoy and Chief Indigo, kind of like maybe showing his back to some other guests?
So you would literally, I guess, if you were looking like where Pyrian is, if you were just facing the opposite way of Pyrian, like you would see both of them. But that is like you have like a bunch of people at your back though, unless you moved to the corner and just sat there. But it doesn't look like there's any chairs there.
No. I'm gonna just slightly apologize to Pyrian.
Swap seats with him.
Just yeah, you sure? Would you mind swapping seats?
Of course, Mr. Godwin. No problem.
We swap seats with you.
Okay.
Let's not move.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What it is. This, like I said, this is theater of the mind. You don't. It doesn't really matter. It's just
Godwin will just like intently look at him as he sits on his spot and go, "The trouble is brewing."
What kind of trouble?
I do not know yet, but I do trust. But I do trust the hunch my friend has. Keep your eyes peeled.
As you say. And I would basically slip a sharp, like, bread knife or something that's on the table into...
Start sharpening the bread knife in your horn.
No. Into basically the palm of my hand, just so I have something to defend myself. And then I would do as Godwin said and keep my eyes peeled for any kind of suspicious behavior. I mean, I was probably at enough parties to see the odd poisoning or assassination attempt.
Oh, by the way, how far would you say, how far the Gilderoy's desk from me, and how far the Fletcher's desk?
I'd say like 10 feet for the Fletcher's desk, the Fletcher's table, and probably about 30 to 40 feet from for the other table.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, this is like a hall. It's like no tables are too far apart. It's mostly like just for like a close like what 70-ish people.
I just need the rough
idea. Okay, so dinner is served. A delicious roast is basically brought out for each table, with some artfully plated artfully plated root potatoes and vegetables, and of course more wine. As everything is laid out, as the room settles, a man who you haven't really talked to in this hall. A rather regal-looking man with a dense beard and a gruff voice stands up and begins a short speech. Good evening, madams and mademoiselles. I am, of course, Sir Archibald Calico, Cat of the Footlights, and it is my honor to lead the Nine Lives Traveling Theatre Collective and present to you tomorrow night's production of Mallory Gilderoy's Man of the People, Maker of Men. It's a ribble tale with no shortage of intrigue, interlopers, ingenuity, and, of course, whatever demon Mr. Gilderoy pledged his soul to in order to look so well preserved. Ha ha! I'm 50 years his junior, yet I won't need a lick of aging makeup to transform into such a stunning example of masculine grace. You sure you're not a full elf, sir? Ha ha ha! But I digress. We, of course, don't want to spoil tomorrow's show, but we do want to bring you a small taste of what we can do. So we thought we'd treat you to a little preview. This story comes courtesy of some of the gathering's distinguished guests. And you can see what happens. What seems to be like almost a rather magical, like moment of brightness glowing from this man's hands. Excuse me. He steps forward into almost like a little open area. As suddenly, suddenly, a large manticore bursts forward and drops right down on the desk, on the table that is literally in front of Mogren, Pyrian, and of course Godwin. This large creature almost is like the amount of detail that you had given. It seems almost that it's the same actual manticore. Not manticore. Sorry. The other word, brain.
Cockatrice?
Cockatrice, not manticore. I get them confused. That's my bad. Cockatrice, sorry. It's literally the same. It looks like the same animal, Kitsune. The guards suddenly start almost trying to protect people and start to just pull people away. You can see that one of them grabs Chief Indigo, pulls that one away. And the lady, of course, the two guards literally just run towards it as this creature feels heavy, and almost you can see what looks like the desk kind of indent almost, and you can hear the cry of it roar out. I'll give you guys a moment to react if you wish to.
Okay, is it I take in the general feeling or vibe of the room.
Yep.
Is this conjured up as a means of entertainment, or is shit hitting the fan?
I mean, it looks like shit's hitting the fan. Some people are just shrieking and rather confused at this rather large beast now literally sitting on top of a table, its tail swinging about, and from the way it swings, you can see what are they called? The curtains and all these fancy fabrics literally are swinging away. Even some of the flames are dashing, and the air kind of gets thick as the lights start to almost dim out.
Okay.
I have a very stupid question.
Yep.
What is that thing even real? We had the man. We saw the man glow. Now there's a manticore.
Valid question.
Well,
What are your characters doing?
My character sits with his fucking mouth agape. I'm not a monster hunter. I'm just that was just thrown out of character.
Yep.
As a food for thought for everyone else. we have arcade specialists. We have monster specialists. Can we do something about that?
Okay.
So two tables in front of Grom, monsters just appearing.
A large beast-like monster, almost the size of you, I suppose, right, Kitsune? I guess the cockatrice was a little over 8 feet.
I guess Godwin just also jumps up. Will try to shield Fletcher from himself. Shield Fletcher from.
This thing's only
monster,
8 feet.
That's about it.
It's quite a big one. It fills the table. So it's like 10 feet by 10 feet, I guess, if you were doing size-wise.
If it's directly in front of me, I take the knife I have secured and basically jump at its throat and try to take it out before it does any damage.
Okay. Roll attack. Get everybody.
I was gonna ask too, actually.
Okay.
Ooh, battle music.
Would I have history with the 9 Lives Peter group? Would I have seen them before, I guess, or know?
I mean, yes, probably, considering how they have gone from town to town. You can give me an insight check if you want.
That's what I was gonna ask next. Octavia's kind of looking around, what in the fresh hell is this? Where the fuck is insight? Ooh.
Oh.
All right. Okay. In fact, you know what? I'll say this from the get-go, right? You literally see this, and immediately, I will say, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna move everybody out of a room while I talk to Pan. Really, too. You. Can you know what? Can everybody move to the other room and then come back? And I'll drag you in when I got a chance.
Sure.
Because we're gonna do things this way a little bit, just so everybody's got. Right. Okay. So Panda, you're very suddenly it all clicks into place. You remember Mr. Gilderoy himself, almost like being snide with you for a moment, as you shit talked the 7. The cat of the footlights, right? The 9 Lives Traveling Theater Collective themselves, literally, it clicks in your brain at that moment as they literally, as Mr. Calico himself stands there, you can see his beard, and it's clearly glued on. You can see immediately that the man that you were talking to throughout this whole dinner was Mr. Calico himself. And the man right now in front of you is not Calico. The man is a pretender with a fake beard on, basically reciting lines.
So,
yes,
Gilderoy is not sorry, if I'm understanding that correctly. I'm seeing Gilderoy as maybe not Gilderoy, and then there's somebody that's impersonating.
There is
Mr.
somebody.
Calico
There is somebody who is impersonating Calico, and Mr. Gilderoy is not Gilderoy. So just to clear it up, because you rolled a 20, from what you say, what you can tell is the man who is with his glowing hands right now is Gilderoy himself, with a fake beard on, putting on a funny accent. And the man that you have been talking to this whole time was Calico, pretending to be Gilderoy.
Got it.
Right?
Okay, that's
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can go back now. You can react however you want. And if anybody's listening who's a player, better not meta. Right. Okay, we'll bring it back in. Right. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So, right. So, Panda, since you have rolled your 20, allow us to. You can do whatever the hell you want. With this information.
Kind of watching what's going on with Octavia's knowledge. She's kind of like lean over to Astrid, and she's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a great show." And then like kind of like tapping Gilderoy on the shoulder, and she's like, "You guys are really up dramatics."
Okay. Right, Grom. What are you doing as you see this gargantuan creature literally kind of loom over a table? Also, Ernie as well. Like everybody gets an action before we cut it down. So, like I said.
I would say that Octavia just looks very excited.
Okay,
Like,
leaning in her
like she's
chair.
worried at all.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
just like on her like hands, like whatever, on her feet, like, oh my god, this is gonna be great.
Okay.
Okay, so Grom has been drinking. He's not been paying attention. So suddenly seeing a big ass monster appear like 2 tables in front of him, he is going to jump up, run across his table, and just try to clear the other side of the room.
Okay.
Because he wants to fight it. He's in a bar, or this is a bar adjacent building. It's time for a brawl.
Okay. All right. So Grom literally just gets up, like takes the tankard with them, or what?
Oh, tankard in hand.
Okay, so literally just
tankard in hand, sprinting across the table, trying to down the rest of his ale.
All right,
there he goes.
give me a dexterity check. No, give me an acrobatics. I guess you're climbing over shit. Yeah.
It's probably.
You know what? I will take acrobatics.
Yeah. Give me acrobatics just for like climbing over the table and running across. Ernie, what are you doing?
Pretty much. Yeah, sort of a bit of a shock going. Who the fuck letting a giant chicken in here? And I'm just gonna jump up on the. Yeah, same thing. Not as elegantly.
That's only a 5, even if anything is added.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay, so Ernie, continue. We'll play it out in a minute.
Yeah. So like not as elegantly able to jump up onto the table. Has to kind of like arms up and clamber. But yeah, he's gonna charge towards.
Okay. Do you want to give an acrobatics check? You're not going around. You're just going straight through the table. Climbing up and then walking over. Well, I guess we'll see. In fact, I think what will happen is, depending on what you roll, I guess. Yeah, okay. So literally you go to grab a stool so you could climb up onto the table, and that stool is literally where Grom's foot was going to be. Grom misses, slips, hits the fucking table. You end up climbing up on top of Grom, unfortunately, like stumble on top of each other and just end up on like a pile on top of the table as you try to like get over each other, yet again miscommunicating what you guys want to do. Which is kind of something that the both of you end up doing a lot of the times in your kind of drunken brawls. It's almost like you don't set up ahead of time who you're planning to win sometimes. All right, okay. Astrid, since you're sitting there, you've just heard your auntie.
Yeah. Well, knowing that she isn't ready, I'm just gonna lean and be like, "Are we supposed to play into this?" And
just let it ride out, honey. We gotta see what they're gonna do here. This
do
is
we
amazing.
help to like make the
This
show
is a
better?
new show.
I will
Like,
say,
I haven't seen this one
Astrid,
yet.
I will say, as you see that, you do see like Calico himself, like literally just go, just like he seems to be like running and hiding underneath the table.
Okay.
It's almost
They show ponies. They just don't know. They just what's Fletcher doing?
Fletcher is
Also hiding under the table?
you know what? I'll say like he seems to be like almost like standing between the monster Perian and this Tristana Rosewood, as they seem to be like kind of like her fanning herself. She's dropped the fan. She's cowering under the table, and Fletcher is like almost kind of like pretending to be like, I will protect you, but also like, I'm gonna probably hide under the table if I've got a chance to.
Yes, she has a meat shield. You know, I'm gonna like. I see Ernie get up. You know, I see Grom. You know, in his beautiful drunken state. I'm gonna. There's silverware. I'm gonna just like grab my fork and knife and be like, and just kind of Ernie, take this with you on your way. You got no weapons, and I'll just.
I love.
You can do it.
I love how like Astrid doesn't know how dangerous that Grom and Ernie are without weapons.
Well, right, because I don't know them. But you know, I just know we don't have weapons.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. It is true. You guys don't have any weapons. You got a cockatrice to fight. All right. Okay. So Godwin is staring agape. Is there
Not really. I did say that I jump up to kind of
To-
protect.
to assist?
Just stand a bit in between. Well, since we didn't swap, like
Yeah.
basically Godwin just jumped up since Fletcher was here.
okay? So like you're just literally like protecting, like you're just moving like into a defensive stance.
Well, obviously.
Okay, okay.
If needed, I will start at the. If needed, I would have started attracting attention. I
Okay.
guess as I jump, I would. What would be? I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna do my cantrip, my paladin cantrip,
Okay.
which is guidance on the Pyrian.
Okay. So say you what does that do? Just give me a roundup.
I'm gonna just as
A
I
D4?
walk away.
Is that what it is?
It's a D4 to a skill check. I'm gonna give Pyrian plus to athletics.
Okay. So Pyrian, as this paladin steps behind you, literally putting his hand on your back for a moment, as you take the nearest knife and swing for this creature. I guess you're trying to like stab it, or like, are you trying to climb onto it? What's how does your attack go? I want to basically.
Since it's right before me at the table,
Yeah.
I literally basically jump at it,
Okay.
and it has a long neck because it's like chicken
Yep.
adjacent,
Yep.
I would say. So basically, I try to sling my left arm around its neck so I can hold onto it and basically just shank with the right hand into the side of its neck.
So, unfortunately, you didn't roll very high. So give me. You know what? No, you don't really need to, because with an 11, you literally just like you take a swing, and as almost as if like you're like I'm gonna hit it, and then it's just its neck switches slightly, and its tail swings, and you can almost feel like the weight of it, like the pressure it creates the way when it spins on the table and almost like pushes you away, but not quite, as you just drop your knife like straight into the table, and you're almost shocked that you missed. And Mogren, finally.
Yes. I will.
There's a chicken butt in your face that's just
There's a chicken
yeah,
butt.
it's just swung around.
Nice. I'll just stay seated and smile. No, I'll get up, take a step back, and I'll cast See Invisibility.
Visibility. Okay, how does that work?
Like this.
Duration. You see creatures and objects that are that have the invisible condition, as if they were visible. You can see into the ethereal plane. Creatures and objects, they're appear ghostly. I don't. You know what? Okay, fair enough. You cast that spell. I don't think it would do much though. The creature. You know what? Give me an intelligence check.
Great.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. Oh. Okay. You know what?
This is not so much aimed at the creature. This is more aimed towards the room, so to speak.
Oh, okay. So
because,
wait. Is it a what's the cast on yourself? See invisibility. Okay. You know what? All right. You know what? I'd actually scratch that then with the intelligence check. Give me a perception check.
It's more because he was like, "We're ready."
Yeah.
And we're gonna kill him. So I would cast it to see if anything is skulking in the room. You know. Perception.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a chicken butt in my face.
There's a chicken butt in your face. All right. Okay. As this whole
Might be omelets.
as this whole event takes place, you see Garth literally run across the room towards his master. And you see one of the guards also running up and kind of like trying to get to him. They get about here before anything happens. The third mercenary literally takes these two people and then pulls them to the door, almost like trying to get between them and the cockatrice as it climbs off of the table, and then like almost like seems to be like just like almost kind of like trying to like claw its way towards Gilderoy. We don't have a table for it, so I'm like I said, use your imagination as it claws its way towards like Fletcher, kind of just almost knocking the table like out of the way, and then like kind of trapping Fletcher and the woman underneath it for a second, as it stops in its tracks and kind of just like looms over these two unnamed men who are panicking and trying to like almost protect themselves with no weapons, unfortunately. Yes. Okay. I will let you guys have one more turn before, well, this monster starts doing some things. So we'll just say to ease something in. I'm assuming Octavia's not doing anything. She's just clapping her hands and rubbing.
She's probably leaning over to Gilderoy a little bit, kind of whispering in his ear, like,
"Hey, how you casting that? Like, what are you guys doing?"
Trying to like pick his brain.
Literally, you know what? You can see like he's almost glancing at you and then like just staring off, kind of up. You can see like a smirk, but then it's just kind of like chides itself as his face kind of goes static. Like almost like not upset, but like clearly like not finding it humorous with your comments. Okay, let's try
But yeah, she's excited about this.
Let's try Dumb and Dumber, just because you guys have kind of fucked up your roles here. But let's say after you're fumbling over each other, you make your way across the table.
Wait.
Yep.
So what I want to do as Ernie runs by me, I'm gonna reach out and slap him on the ass and cast Jump on him. I'm like, "Go get him, buddy!"
Okay.
So I want to give him Jump.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll allow that for role-playing purposes.
Yeah.
But what does that do? It just gives you
It just gives him. He can jump 30 feet.
Why is that not giving
by
the actual
spending
spell?
10 feet of movement?
Can you link the spell?
Yeah. What happens if I do this?
In the spell, if you open the spell in the red button to the right, in the top left corner, there's like
the
speech
dragon
bubble.
thing.
Thank you.
No, there's a speech bubble.
The speech bubble. Oh.
There we go. Thank you. That's good. Now I can read it.
There.
Okay, so it's a bonus action for a minute. The creature can jump 30 feet by spending 10 feet of movement. Okay, cool. Right, you get a free jump, basically. All right, Ernie, what are you and Grom doing? We'll say you guys are technically going at the same time, but also, let's just say that you're postponed for your bad rolls of slipping on each other.
Yeah. I'll pick myself up off of a Grom and run past Astrid and obviously get the slap on the ass and just sort of give her a glance back and a bit of a wink like cheers love, and then
the worst part
feel
about
the
it
surge-
though is when she slaps you on the ass. Technically, you're like middle back, I guess.
No, it's his ass. It's his ass.
All right, okay, continue.
I know
Sorry.
where I'm slapping.
I got a big beautiful ass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a jump to leap towards the
Yeah, all right.
the
Okay.
creature.
I'll say just for ease, just to let you guys know, it's about about here right now.
Okay. And as I'm meant to be through the air going towards it, I'm a rage.
Okay. So let's just say, for ease, you just jump off the end of the table and just leap at it with your bare hands. Grom, as you shake your teeth and make sure that they're all in the right place, what's Grom doing?
Rob never gets no attention like that.
You have a wife.
Shut up.
Anyway, Grom is going to kind of follow suit, like climbing back on the table, being a bit more careful this time.
Yeah. Okay.
After busting his ass, and he's gonna jump across, and square up in a boxing position.
Okay, so
ready.
we'll say this as Ernie is leaping into it, and Grom, you're like what, kind of doing a running hook.
Yeah, he's gonna run and try to hit it with a nice good left hook.
So give us 2 attacks, please. As you guys basically try to combat this mythical creature.
You want 2 off of me?
No,
is
just
that
that's one each, like off of you and of Ernie. Sorry.
Alrighty. Well, that's a 21 to hit.
Okay. Yep. I would also could you give me an intelligence check as well, Marcy? Same for Ernie.
Of course.
Okay.
Intelligence check, yeah.
Yep.
Our highest skills, of course.
Yep.
I thought Grom. Ooh, nice.
Okay, so
As I say, highest skill.
unfortunately for Ernie, though, you do like your intelligence check kind of makes sense when you go to like bring down both your fists on the creature's head, I guess. Well, how do you want to describe how you're attacking this thing? Just so we're.
Yeah, so like maybe through the air raging, and then as I'm like coming through, I'm just gonna like two fists, both fists up in the air, and just gonna come down like a big massive like pile driver like downwards like attack with the fists.
Okay, so as you do that, unfortunately, what seems to happen is immediately your hands go through it, and then you end up face planting the ground.
Can I just add a bit of flair?
Yep.
Yeah! Oh shit!
And then you just fall through it almost. At that time, though, however, Grom literally just kind of like builds up a punch and hits something. Unfortunately, it seems to like whiff. And since Grom's failed his intelligence check, he's not sure. He's sure he hit something, but he's not sure what he hit. As he looks at the creature as it kind of snarls at him, its beak snapping shut. And yeah, so Ernie, you know for a fact that you didn't hit anything, even though it felt like you hit something, but you feel the floor in front of you.
Oh dear God, it's a ghost chicken.
Can't be no ghost. Ghosties isn't reals.
It did feel like you made an impact, though, Grom. Like as you smacked it, you could feel that your knuckles hurt slightly, like a buzz. But that could just be the alcohol. You're not sure. All right, Perian and Godwin.
I'm gonna pull my since the monster now fully like behind me, right? Like, speaking as Godwin. Do I have a good view on where the guard is taking Lady Fardasher and Chief Indigo?
It just seems to be out the door.
Out the door. I'm gonna follow.
Okay. Well, okay. So, yeah, sure. You can say that the guard and Lady Orforo seem to like they literally are just seem to be being taken to the door as they as they and like almost kind of like not wanting to leave, but they are slowly being like kind of like taken out of the area.
As I move past Morgan, I will just where is Hess? Like as I move past Morgan, he's standing right next to Hess, right?
Hess is literally feet up, just laughing. I'm like, it's a chicken. Doesn't seem that bothered. He's not even like getting up right at the.
Yeah, as I pass, I will nod to Morgan, just like in this direction. I sense shenanigans afoot.
Okay, okay.
As I go, I break my concentration. So sorry, Pyrian. No more
No more
bonus
good.
to athletics.
No more guidance. Okay.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
All right, Pyrian. What's your
Can you repeat that?
what is your
Couldn't hear
next?
that.
Sorry, I literally just cut out because I ducked. What is your what's Pyrian doing now that the cockatrice basically just like climbed over you?
Okay, do I see what happens with Grom and Ernie?
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Technically with advantage, I guess, because of what happened to thingy.
Intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together as Grom looks like he hits it for a moment. You can then see at the exact same moment that Ernie essentially fell through the creature. You can tell that that is an illusion. It's not a real creature.
Okay. When I realized that, I of course abandoned the quote-unquote quest to harm the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I recall what Morgan said to me. I assume, or I recall, to keep my eyes open for trouble.
It was me.
Oh, sorry. Then it was Godwin. Apologies. So I basically try to look around. It's a little bit of chaos, I understand. If any of the guests are behaving suspiciously in terms of I have a specific goal in mind where I need to go, where I want to go, and it's not I want to get away from the monster, and it's not.
Give me a perception check, please.
Perception.
You're just giving a glance over the hallway as you kind of see all this. Well, it's pure chaos at the moment as guests seem to leap to their own kind of savior. No. Unfortunately, too much is going on. The literal like you can only assume thaumaturgy magic coming from the image itself. As it shakes the room and knocks tables over. There's clearly some other kind of like magic at play. Unfortunately, it is too much to disguise where it's coming from, especially when you're in the center of the chaos.
Okay, that wasn't exactly my goal, but it's fair enough.
So if you want to do an action, if you want to like act on that information, you.
Yeah, I would want to climb or leap onto a table to get a better vantage point.
Okay. The table in front of you, or the one that's knocked over, or like.
Whatever works best.
Well, that's your decision.
Then I guess the table in front of me.
Okay, right.
And basically get an overview to like see if any of the guests are in trouble.
For the most part, some of the guests look shook. You can probably see that Gilderoy seems to be standing by the table with Octavia and Astrid. The bards and the musicians are kind of like shocked. The music stopped clearly. Garth is running towards his master, and you can see one of the guards also doing so too. almost trying to get to him in order to protect him.
Okay. Then I would keep an eye on Gilderoy, in case in case he gets into some kind of trouble.
Okay. Do you want to move, or are you just gonna wait? And
When I spot him, I would start moving in the general vicinity, and on the way down, basically, since my knife landed there, I would pick up the knife again if that's possible.
Yep, sure. Okay. Are you running through the cockatrice, or are you running around it?
Since I don't 100% know how this illusion works, and if they basically implemented some kind of collision, I would probably avoid it as to not like get knocked around or something.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay. I think finally Mogren.
Yeah. Let me see here. I did the thingy, and I don't see anything.
Doesn't seem to. There seems to be no no creatures or people in the ethereal plane as your see invisibility spell seems.
I'm gonna move closer. I don't know how far I can move. I assume I can
just,
go.
I would just say, where are you going? Just we're not
Over
measuring shit. It's literally just where are you running?
Toward Gilderoy.
Okay, so are you sprinting, and you're just gonna, or are you planning to do something?
I'm planning to do something.
Okay, well, so you can get to about Fletcher's table, or you have to stop.
That's fine. I mean, I could sprint, but
yep. I mean, like I said, it's up to you. Like, there is currently a cockatrice between you and Gilderoy. All I'm saying.
Okay.
You don't know it's an image, so.
No, so I see it.
Yeah, it's still there. It's waving.
Gilderoy?
Between Gilderoy's leg, between the cockatrice's legs, yes.
That's fine. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Gilderoy.
Is that 30 feet, I guess? Right?
That's 60 feet.
60 feet, damn, okay, alright. Okay, yeah, no, sure. As you cast the spell, yeah, it seems to just, like, literally just boom. As, do you want to describe? Do you want to describe how your Shield of Faith works?
A little shimmer. Sure. It looks, it kind of looks like,
It's not the icon of, Cinder. Right?
No.
It's something different.
It's close to the icon of Cinder, but
yes.
a little different. Yeah.
Okay, so the god of
basically it's like a flame, basically. Let's just go with that.
Yep. The Cinder's icon, if I remember right, is a crown and anvil. That's basically with fire background, right? So it's similar in regards to that, right?
Let's call it a sunrise.
Yeah. All right, a sunrise works. So basically, you see like a golden yellowish aura kind of just surround Gilderoy. Even he seems surprised. Like he just like looks around like confused as this aura just like protects him for a moment. Then you see Garth literally run to his master, going, "Master, watch out!" as he runs towards Gilderoy, basically knocking out one of the guards that seems to pull like some sort of weapon, and then literally just throwing it as Garth steps in the way, and a dagger goes flying into Garth. Gilderoy then takes a step forward and just kind of punches the guard, knocking him down, and then as somebody from the rafters drops down and just plants another knife into the back of Gilderoy. As Gilderoy holds his side and knocks this assassin down from the rafters, he then kind of turns around and looks to Octavia for a moment, almost giving you a stare. You can then see that Gilderoy seems to cry out in anguish as his footman lies on the ground with blood suddenly surrounding the floor. as that happens in front of you, the cockatrice suddenly disappears. And you can see what appears to be Mr. Calico himself standing up from behind the desk and clapping. Bravo! As he keeps clapping, and then starts to slowly peel off his beard, revealing that he is actually Mr. Gilderoy. In fact, it appears that Calico has been Gilderoy all along. Well done, sirs. Well done. Aren't these actors marvelous? Though I suspect some of you were onto the ruse the moment my doppelganger has started crying over there, over my manservant. As you can see, then suddenly Garth stands up, no longer bloodied, and obviously not at death's door. As you can hear a voice chime up suddenly saying, yes, my lord, I was playing Garth, your footman, sir. He suddenly starts to peel away his mustache and the bald cap. As you can see, a rather long, curly-maned woman, as she glances down and gives a small bow. The real Calico then stands and adjusts himself, waving as the material daggers start to, like, just disappear as the image just fades, and all the guards start to, like, kind of return to the room, as they all then start going, ah! And then just start joining in with the clapping.
Yeah, I start clapping.
As soon as the cockatrice disappeared, like, Octavia's, like, clapping, like,
That's a great show. That was amazing, Mr. Calico.
Wait a minute, where's the big-ass bird I was just about to box up? What the fuck?
It was a show. It was a show. You know, a show.
That was supposed to be my show.
Entertainment.
Yep, don't go for it.
Tyrion drops his knife basically to the tip of his tail, and the tail just puts the knife on a table to the side, like, yeah, no, I wasn't going to start anything, you know. I'm harmless.
Ah, yeah. Well, we are the Nine Lives Traveling Theatre Collective. This, of course, is Tabitha, Tabby Fane, motioning to two of the guards. Devon, Rex McCoy, Gascan Dan, and our newest member, as he points to one of the to the guard that dropped down, the assassin that dropped down from the rafters. This, of course, is Harissa Tanner. Well done, Harissa. We'll come up with a zippy stage name for you soon. And I, of course, am Sir Archibald Calico, Cat of the Footlights. Octavia, you nearly gave it away. Like, he seems kind of, like, almost showmanship-like.
I'm sorry, I got so excited. I've never seen a show like that. That was amazing. I think I might have mixed you guys up earlier with the Five Guys Traveling Group. That's like a little boy band. I don't like their music.
And I, of course, am Sir Archibald Calico, Cat of the Footlights. And we'll see you all at the theatre for tomorrow night's premiere. For tomorrow night's... He just coughs up blood and just suddenly collapses onto the floor.
He's still acting, right?
His body convulsing, his face growing slack and somewhat gray as he begins to sway and then suddenly collapsing to the floor. He starts to vomit a gout of blood and starts to convulse as his skin starts to bubble and cries of agony could ring out from his violently shaking form. He motions towards the goblet on the banquet table as there's a panic in the ballroom once more. The actors scramble and try to save their director. Mallory Gilderoy, he has been poisoned! Shall lock the doors! As suddenly the guards literally just start slamming the doors shut and glancing around as this man is practically dying. I'll give you a moment to kind of react, role-playing wise.
Is this part of the show? Is this another? I'm
No,
just
it's not
whispering to
part of the
Octavia. I think it's part of the show. I really do.
It seems like a weird direction to go, but it seems like they're turning it into a murder mystery or something.
I mean, they're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
I don't know if we're supposed to also act in it. I didn't get any information or anything.
Check for a pulse?
One of the Garth literally, not Garth, sorry, Tabitha, literally is leaning over him and kind of checking his pulse, kind of just trying to make him seem, I don't know, if he's okay. He's coughing and vomiting up blood and convulsing horribly, like he has in fact been poisoned. Give me a name.
As a ranger, would I know if that's real blood or?
Oh yeah, no,
stage blood?
you can smell the iron in the.
Oh.
As-
Auntie, it's real blood.
All right, we'll give everybody a moment to react before we actually do some stuff. So let's just say furthest from the door. So Godwin, you do notice that everybody around you just suddenly starts to turn, and their clapping kind of subsides again as they make their way closer to almost sitting down again until this event takes place. And hear the coughing and horrible retching of Mr. Calico.
I just hear it. I do not.
I mean,
see it.
you're paying attention, right? So you would
I
have
was
paid
basically
attention.
Zoning, I essentially was zoning in on Chief Indigo and Lady Fardasha. Have they left?
No, they are literally on their way back in. Like they've been kind of like led back in as the speech was being told by Mr. Calico.
Okay. I guess I will. How far am I?
You're quite far. It would like you'd have. It would be a full sprint to get to the. A full sprint.
Sprint, you say? Give me a second. Is it? No, it's 15. So okay. Once Godwin verifies that Chief Indigo and Lady Fardash are safe, and not in any immediate danger, I guess I will turn around. Godwin will turn around and go back to the.
Make his way over to.
Yeah, just joins first and foremost joins Morgan.
Okay.
To ask what happened.
Okay, I'll let you, Perian, and Mogren kind of have a moment as you guys see what happens, unfolds.
I tried to follow Lady Indigo and Lady Fardasher and Chief Indigo in case they're in trouble, but something happened here, didn't it?
Yes, Mr. Godwin. It seems like someone tried to poison, or poisoned, not tried to, because he was obviously poisoned. Question is if he tried to poison Mr. Calico or Mr. Gilderoy, since they basically swapped places, as it seems.
Oh no, is he dead?
Well, from what it seems, he's not far away from that.
I will grab Morgan and spend the rest of my turn just dashing with him to the guy.
Okay. I'm assuming Morgan is.
Of course, I'll follow Godwin whenever.
You're not following me. I'm carrying you so as to you not waste any of your actions. Since I won't be able to neither heal nor spare the dying to stabilize the guy. So
I'm not struggling against it.
I just love the idea of like literally a human paladin and even like fucking a monster hunter just taking one arm each of the dwarf and just three-legged walking with you guys in the middle. All right, what's Period doing? What's Period doing? Just so we're.
Pyrian is getting a bit of whiplash, because first it was, oh goddamn, a monster.
Yep.
Oh, that's not a monster. Oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god, someone is poisoned.
Yep.
So even for him and the parties he had, that's a bit much. But he clearly saw that the guy gestured towards the goblet. So Pyrian would basically keep an eye on the thing, or if he can, even secure it so nobody can tamper with it.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
The rest.
After dropping off the cleric with Godwin.
Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. What about, let's say, Mr. Grom and Mr. Ernie? What are the brawlers doing in this situation as you see somebody literally just collapse? As the actors surrounding this poor man kind of are a little bewildered at what's happening right now, and you can see the shock in their eyes as this is not meant to happen.
I'll just kind of turn to Grom and go, "Oh Jesus, Grom, did you miss?"
I don't think so. I thought I hit the big ass man. I did feel my hand hit something.
Priorities, right, guys?
But yeah, I've got to. Ernie will kind of like go up and like obviously check on Mr. Sir Calico.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he is
Effectively just oh, what's it? I can see this poison, but obviously it's one of those. Trying to figure out is it like a sort of natural herb or
give me a nature check, I guess.
Okay, something I'm powerful at.
Yeah, well. Okay. Yeah. You kind of like look at the goblet for a second, then glance down. You can see that he's clearly drunk something. His mouth seems a little red and then white, and you can see like his veins are kind of popping through. It's a little hard to tell what it is, but you can see that maybe it's some sort of poison.
Oh, I'll turn to Grom and go. Well, Grom, I seem to have deduced that he's drunk something bad.
Well, it's a good point.
Help him.
Where's Mr. Gildo?
Grom's gonna look for
Gilderoy's,
Mr.
Gilderoy's literally standing to the side, almost kind of glancing around.
Oh, okay, like
Yeah,
right there.
he's literally beside him.
Okay. Grom is remembering that they kind of swapped places. Grom's gonna kind of keep an eye out,
Okay.
making sure the rich birthday boy isn't about to be the next attempted murder.
He doesn't seem to notice you. He's kind of more focused on the fact that one of his closest friends, Mr. Calico, is poisoned.
Grom he's gonna like edge himself closer, just kind of body blocking bullshit.
Okay. Hey yo.
He's going into bouncer mode.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. You're waiting for anybody who comes at him and to keep distance. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Grom is being a bouncer.
What's that, Ernie?
Sorry. No, Ernie's just going to kind of do like a last little call out to go. Can anyone cue poison?
Yeah.
Like
Valid. Yeah. Valid question.
There's currently a EMT on the run.
Yeah. Right.
Rapidly approaching.
Yes.
Could I attempt the same kind of thing to smell it to see if there's being a nature person, like survival, like could I use survival check to see if I can tell what it is?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go. Come on. Survival. Hey, there we go.
Okay. So what are you trying to deduce here?
I want to look at the goblet, smell it, look at it, see if there's anything that I might be able to tell what was in his drink.
Okay, as you can get close, but you notice that one of the guards literally like turns to you, almost a little kind of like worried that you might be tampering with it for a second. But as you get close enough and just kind of like just take a quick whiff, you can't really like tell that there's anything added to it, but like there is this whiff, kind of like bitter aftertaste that you've probably accidentally swallowed or taken a bite out of as a kid in your foraging days, as you're hunting. There's a massive amounts of it though. Like this is literally like, if this was his first drink, he probably wouldn't. He probably would have tasted it. But considering however many that Calico had been downing throughout his evening of entertainment, you could tell that this one kind of got past somehow. You're not quite sure if it's just part of an act or if it's just because he's not used to much bitter poisons, but somebody clearly poisoned this, and his reaction is very violent. So it's not like he's, used to such a vivid, well, what's the term for it? Not a prophylactic. It's basically just a very vile but simple poison. But it's like... you wouldn't know what it is. You would need to get like a sample of it. You would have to compare it with another version of it in order to tell it. This has been soaked in alcohol and mead, I guess. So the mixture is literally just a poison that you're not entirely sure with. Because unfortunately, your background is nature, but it's not a poison person. So you just know
Right.
basic poisons at this point. Basic molds, basic wheat, mushroom, poisonous mushroom, that kind of stuff. It could be many of these things, right? It's just got a very bitter taste. So it's probably a root that's been like refined to something a bit more quick acting.
Okay. I would just announce that information. Just
Okay. So you
and everybody check your drinks. Nobody drank anything more, and yeah.
Okay.
Is yeah, I guess because there's nothing I can do to help this guy, so I would probably just make my way around and see if any key people also have tainted drinks.
Okay. So far, it seems like you can see that most of the drinks are empty and nobody seems to be that touched. Calico's is like almost half full, but it was Gilderoy's technically. So yeah, that's all you can really tell from it at the moment. Mr. Panda, Octavia,
Yes.
what is Octavia doing as this? We'll move on.
As Calico's falling on the ground, kind of convulsing, and she's kind of realizing that this is not part of the show, and everybody's kind of gathering around. She's like slowly slowing down that clap, and is like, "Oh no, this is definitely not good." She's gonna try to like, I guess, use a medicine check to see if there's anything that she can help with. I don't think there's any way that she can help though, knowing that poison's just
Yep. I mean, if you want to try it, go for it.
kind
Yeah.
of fucked.
Yeah, go for it. You can always try.
6, so nothing.
This point, like, this is a poison. You're not very familiar with poisons. You do know that like you kind of have to just remove it, but you're not really. You need a priest at this point. You need a priest. You need a paladin. You need a cleric. You need somebody who can remove a poison of some sort. Yeah.
Advin, you're religious, right?
He's gonna kind of also look around to see if anybody's acting a little bit more suspicious.
Give
I
me
guess,
a
but
perception check.
kinda... damn it, that's not 13.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, fair enough. You don't really notice anything. Everybody just seems panicked and like almost like clutching their chest or clutching their drink or clutching the table. Like literally just kind of everybody seems stressed, highly like stressed. They've like a perfect way to describe it, as Perian described it, was like literal whiplash. Like their celebration, cheer, scared, celebration, oh, scared again. Like everybody seems to be just high on edge, and you can't quite tell what's happening and who's reacting well and who's reacting poorly. It doesn't look as if someone is like looking shifty this moment, considering the whole performance is kind of, you've had people looking shifty this whole time as they move in, weave in and out of the crowds.
Yeah, got it. I think that's all I can do right now.
Right. As he seems to be writhing in pain. We'll say, for expedience, we'll say that the cleric and all that you guys can get over there real quick, just because like nothing's happening. It's just literally him in agony and whatever. So you guys move over towards the group. The guards kind of like taking full seat, and Mr. Indigo himself and Lady Arturo literally coming up as well, as they all start to gather around the body.
I'm gonna. Godwin will rub Morgan's shoulders as he's applying guidance to his medicine skill.
Okay.
You can do it, buddy. You can do it.
I'll try. And because I'm such a good cleric, I don't have
any healing.
I don't have lesser restoration.
Oh.
I do have healing word though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna attempt to cast Healing Word on the guy.
Okay. So people start to clear away as you come in close, and I guess you just say, you can roleplay it. Go for it.
Dude.
Like somebody's put like a pillow under his head. As you press your hand to, I guess you don't have to touch him, right? You can just say the word. I don't know what.
As soon as I thought I was in range, I see it now. It's
60
up
feet?
good to 60 feet.
Yeah.
So that's like the other end of the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just forgot. Whoa.
Whoa.
As this, like, yet again, this like almost fiery brimstone kind of surrounds him for a moment, and then fades like a slow coal like sun, like a sunset almost. As he for a moment stops coughing, the stabilizing him for a moment, only then for it to suddenly start and he just like starts coughing once more as the healing word seems to have very little effect, although it does kind of reduce his the pain he is going.
Gonna look to Godwin. Dude, maybe you can help him.
I don't know how. Like, the only thing I can do technically is just lay on hands at the moment, and I don't think he needs more HP.
Lay on hands has another
Has
effect
to
where you can
remove
remove a condition with spend 5 points.
Yeah.
That is
You know what? Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Again, Godwin will try to recall everything he has been taught by the priests of the order, not really the knights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna be wasting.
Okay, so you know what? Do you want to describe how it actually like takes place as a knight of Kelemite, or as a Kelemite, I guess?
Yeah,
a Kelemite, if you will.
As a Doom Guard, it's not really a religious procedure. It's more or less, it looks more ritualistic. As Godwin places his one of his hands on the forehead of the writhing man, and the other on his chest, as he mostly mumbles to himself a very, very basic prayer. You know, grant this poor soul the decades of health.
Okay.
And easy passing at the at the end of his life and all that. As like his hands just lightly glow.
Okay. As you recite your little ritual, for a moment, you can see his eyes open up and he stares at you, almost like just taking a deep breath as the skin seems to start to return to a rather pinkish shade. The hueish red in his cheeks kind of fill out as the poison is slowly removed. It takes a couple of like seconds before you can essentially not hear the deep throating cough that he kind of exudes. He then like kind of like and starts to deep breath as his body kind of like expels this poisonous substance from his system. He rolls onto his side and like kind of curls up, and you can still see sweat on his brow as he's reacted violently to this poison, and it's only been literally 15 seconds. Gilderoy stands tall and shouts, "Someone on this island wants me dead. Not a very welcome birthday gift. I'm afraid, and I hope you are all planning to stay for the weekend's festivities, because at this point, I'm afraid I can't allow any one of you to leave." Suddenly you see that like some like men from the door like burst through it, and they all have weapons and swords as they start to surround everybody, like literally pulling swords out, even, and just like almost kind of just like asking you to come along and kind of behave as you would being, taken to a cell or wherever you were supposed to be taken. Mr. Gilderoy looks to Garth, saying, "You will take each of these people to their respected rooms, and I will have my men investigate this murder."
Mr. Gilderoy, You sure as you could trust all your boys like that?
I trust them with my life, but I will say right now, each one of you is a suspect.
You know, I don't think Grom should be very suspect like that.
You,
Grom's just trying to. I'm not trying to kill you.
perhaps. But if your questioning leads to anything, perhaps you might be able to lead on to some hints at who has tried to murder me.
Never tried being no detective before.
Anyway, take them away. Like, he literally, like, suddenly you see all these men start to just surround. You have 2 men on each side of you, Grom, as one of them looks at you and goes, "We're gonna make this difficult."
You poke me with that little pony thing, will?
Oh, we're just doing as we're told, mate.
No, don't fucking poke me. I'll just start walking.
You will all go to your chambers. And literally you just see like each person being slowly taken away. Lady Arturo, Chief Indigo, Hess Arturo himself literally are led off down a hallway to their own room. And you can see that basically everybody is kind of chaperoned off to your own room. I'll say just for ease that the rest of you are kind of like, since you came in the same carriage, you are kind of literally put into the same room, just so that you can have a chat and discuss what maybe happened.
Did I have enough time to grab my basket from under the table?
Give me. Ooh. All right. As a guard, literally like tells you, "Come on, let's go." You can maybe try to persuasion check.
Sure.
Role playing wise, not just roll it. I need you to convince this guy that you're allowed to take your bag with you. Can I take the murder weapon with me?
Can I grab the basket I came with to my room as well?
Basket?
I need to return. I brought bread rolls in it. I have witnesses. Although no one ate them, Mr. God threw them away. But I still need to return the basket.
It's a basket. You can get it later.
You promise it will remain here?
This room's going to be analyzed and investigated. If it turns out it has some sort of illegal herb or root inside it, you will, no matter what you just did to save that man.
It was empty last time. I can check. You can check it immediately. I will just pull it from under the desk.
Okay.
And show him. Oh fuck! It's gonna be like a bribe because there's a bunch of gold in it.
Right.
Fuck it! I'm showing him the gold in the
Okay.
basket.
All right. Go for it. Roll. Roll. I don't even know because at this point, like the guards, like you're bribing him.
I suppose it's now a bribe. I mean, it's not intended as one. I'm just showing him the basket. See, no poison inside.
Just gold coins.
I'm gonna roll persuasion regardless.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Ooh. Oh. I rolled a 19. All right. You know what? He doesn't have a modifier, so I will let you. Like, he looks at you weird, going, "This is a weird thing to ask for," but it is gold. It does belong to you. You're right. Fine. You think? I mean, these are your winnings for the fight, right? Like, I mean, you can take them, but I am going to note this down to my superior.
Don't worry. Anytime.
Right, move along. Come on, let's get you in before the night cuts.
And there's got to be shoved away with it while holding the basket. Wait, winnings?
All right. Okay. Let's just say you're all moved to a guest room. Show this one. So it doesn't. This is just for show. So yeah, you are moved suddenly into like a big old guest room, as you are now technically suspects in almost in a murder case. Each one of you is just basically piled in one after the other. The room is quite nice, quite suited. You can see there is plenty of chairs, and like this is clearly meant to be like almost like a smoking room, right? There's plenty of beds, but like they're more like chairs and cushions and that kind of thing. It's kind of like essentially been made into like a guest bedroom. It's not the fanciest place, but considering all of you are not like nobles, dukes, all that stuff, this is clearly meant for like almost the workers. Yeah, almost the workers. It's an old room that's not being used to what its original purpose was.
So it's probably the fanciest place I ever slept in.
Yeah, probably. For you, yeah. For you, there's cushions, so that's you sold.
Damn. It's not just flat wood.
Yep. So as you're all put into your guest chambers, you see one of the guards literally at the door, literally saying, "I hope for all purposes that you retire to this respective room for the evening. I please, and I ask this of you, do not leave this room. If you do, perhaps ask the guards. If you are caught outside, you will be detained and moved to the prison. Or jail, I should say."
So, what if I got to take a leak?
There's a leak. There's a bathroom in that room there. He's literally it is like almost like a guest room. So there is a place to take.
And if I get hungry?
Well, you just ate, so you'll wait till breakfast tomorrow.
No, I'm a big boy. I'm a very big boy.
Right, we'll just take you to the jail now then, shall we?
Grom, honey, come on now. Just come and sit down and let them do their thing. Just have a seat. This is so exciting. This is like murder on the Oak Star Express. I just
What's an Oak Star Express?
It's a town way up north on the north end of Tragos, honey. It's okay. Just come and sit down. Nobody here did anything. Just sit down. It'll be fine. Don't worry about eating.
As
Grom is gonna huff and like he's actually gonna go sit down. He's just bored.
I'm just leading Grom. Come on, honey. You want me to slap your ass too? Come on, let's go. Just come sit down.
I didn't think Grom would get attention like that. All right.
Okay, so you guys sit down. So like the room is yours, guys. Like there's no one else here. So it's just you guys talking among.
So the Catman, he's dead, but he was hiding as Gilderoy, and Gilderoy was supposed to drink out the cup.
Well, the Catman is not dead, but yes, Gilderoy was supposed to die from the poison, I assume.
Are you sure he wasn't dead? He was kinda, looking dead.
Yes, but Mr. Godwin managed to remove the poison.
It's only a flesh wound.
Thought it was poison.
Yeah, it wasn't stabbed. It was just it was poison in his drink. It was dangerous.
It smelled
there's
horrible.
No flesh in the stomach, though.
It's horrible. Who would wanna kill Mr. Gilderoy?
Well,
on his
that's
birthday?
the question, Miss Astrid.
Was anybody acting weird? I mean, I didn't notice anybody acting weird or.
Well, me neither, but that doesn't mean there weren't people amongst the crowd.
Well, I heard Garth and someone else talking about how they were gonna kill him. I don't know who him was. They said, "We're ready. We're gonna kill him." And then the chicken appeared.
Oh, well, Mr. Morgren, maybe you should report this? It could help with the investigation.
Sure, let me just leave this room that the guard just told me not to leave.
There is a guard outside, currently.
The guard
Okay.
said we can talk to him and let him know things.
Okay.
Also, it's not really Garth, right? It was one of the actors.
I'll,
I mean, they really tricked me there. I thought it
I'll
was
go
actually
to the
Gilderoy I was
door.
talking to.
I'll go to the door and I'll be like, "Hello,
What is it?
I want to talk to you."
Right.
What you doing?
Is this important?
Gargoff? No. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so when just before dinner, like I heard Garth, not Garth, talk to someone else, and they said we're ready and we're gonna kill him.
Right.
And then the chicken appeared.
All right. Fair enough. I will
But
let
I don't know.
I will let
who
Mr.
Garth
Gilderoy know,
wasn't.
and I will let him come talk to you.
Okay.
And he literally just closes the door on you. And
Bye.
Well, I did my best.
How do we know that this guy is not on the bad side? I mean, did he seem suspicious?
which guy?
Right.
Were you able
I can-
to tell his?
I can ask him if you want to.
Wait, who?
And what were you gonna ask him to start with? Because you that didn't go too well, it seemed.
Excuse me. Hello.
He sure. Wait. I mean, why did that guard just not give two shakes of a lamb's tail about
I'm
this
knocking
information?
on the door.
Oh,
Hello.
He opens the door. What is it?
Are you one of the good guys?
He just closes the door.
I think we should
It's
retire
very-
for the night. It
Listen,
doesn't seem like
I
we
will.
have
I
any
will.
time for
I will say this: as he closes the door, he's waiting for somebody to come and check on him, so that he could. He's not just gonna leave you unguarded. He has to wait for somebody to come and get him before this information is reported. So you can have a little bit of a discussion before Mr. Gilderoy appears, and will then you can I'm giving you some time to to discuss what you have learned. Okay.
So, Miss Octavia, you seem to know Mr.
Archibald.
Mr. Archibald a little better than the rest of us.
I've seen some of his shows from time to time. I travel around a little bit, so you gotta get to know the community when you stop playing music and entertaining. But it seems weird if it was Garth that was talking about whatever, somebody talking to Garth really about murdering someone. So is it somebody that's in his crew?
Can I,
So-
out of character, report to the note takers the names of the current suspects?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
Harrison Tanner, who's been dressed as Garth, talked to Devon McCoy, who's been the standoffish man sitting at the Fletcher's table.
So-
Sure, but we don't know their names.
We know their
Wasn't it-
names. They have been introduced
Yeah.
as Archibald has been.
most Archibald literally said their names and pointed them out before collapsing.
Okay.
But was it Tabitha that played Garth? I thought.
Tabitha,
Tabitha
Thend, yeah.
Tabitha Thend was the assassin that dropped on top of the fake Gilderoy.
And what was that second name?
Tabitha Theng, so Feng. Devin Rex McCoy was one of the guards. Gascan Dan, he was also one of the guards. And sorry, no, Tabitha was playing Garth, correct? Tabitha was playing Garth, and
That's
and Harissa was playing the assassin.
Ray, yeah.
Yeah. Harissa Tanner was the one that dropped down from the daggers.
No, you know what?
That's how I know it.
Sure. I guess I mixed them up because I remembered one of them being the newest addition.
Yeah, Harissa is the newest one. Yeah, Harissa's.
Oh, then I
got
mixed
no
them up.
nickname yet.
I apologize.
Yeah, she has no nickname. She's just Harissa Tanner.
She's cat number 6 right now.
So Garth, the assassin, and Gilderoy.
Was
And
Calico.
Archibald?
Archibald was Calico. See what I mean? See how confusing that is?
I thought Gilderoy was Calico.
Yeah, well, no, Gilderoy was dressed up as Calico.
They did the switch seas.
Gilderoy had a beard on. He was trying to pretend to be the leader of the group that does all the entertaining.
And so Gilderoy was playing Calico.
Oh, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake, give me a
Gilderoy was
sec.
playing Calico. I noticed kind of he had his beard glued on kind of during the beginning of the show. That's kind of why
I shared
wasn't
the note.
freaked out by the cockatrice.
Do I need to share? It popped just for Morgan or for everyone?
No, I didn't get anything.
Nah, yeah, same.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag the dragon link over the. Or just
No,
click
I
the
think
share
you
button.
gotta make it public.
You can just share it as well, though.
Sure, I'm making my note public.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
You will also know that Hess Arturo was just sitting there laughing throughout the whole performance. Chief Indigo was being escorted out. Lady Arturo was being escorted out. Fletcher was, well, trying to be heroic.
Bravely defending a
Yep.
woman under the table.
Yeah, I think me and Hess were the only ones probably that knew it was kind of a show going on at first. It seemed like he was laughing over there.
So yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, I guess as Godwin plops next to Morgan after his thing, while still holding the basket. For a second there, I was concerned for Chief Indigo and Lady Fairdasher.
Why?
Well, you didn't really specify what's going to be food. I thought maybe they will be in danger. Morgan, remember how people don't really like us around based on the gods we follow?
Yeah.
So I kind of figured maybe Chief Indigo is going to be the one getting the, the good old... The good old...
Getting stabbed?
Removal, yes.
Whoa. But he didn't, though.
Yeah, that's why I was returning back.
This is very confusing to me.
I guess, and at this point, we will just start discussing. If he would have died, how do you think he would have been buried?
All right, Ernie, what's your question?
Yeah, Ernie's just gonna kind of like he's gonna sort of be standing over by one of the big chairs, and then climbs up to it and goes, I think I've seen this before. A game being played in one of those Trino taverns before, called a Cludio, I think it was, and it's always the butt man with the candlestick in the dining room.
Well, but we already established that it was poison this time, so it cannot be a candlestick, Mr. Ernie.
Poison in the goblet.
No, for a second there, I just assumed Morgan will just stand up and report this too.
Have you checked all your candlesticks? Are they missing?
Who would benefit from Mr. Gilderoy being on the other side of eternity? Well, obviously his son, who clearly is not really like an accomplished. I don't know how the boy would actually earn money unless those. I forgot the word. Oh, my brain. Competitions.
Competition? Yeah.
Was he suspicious? Aside from he really seemed like a fraud. He didn't know anything. And Mr. What's his name?
Arturo?
No. Sorry, notes. Mr. Garth almost seemed a little frustrated when he didn't even know what kind of bow he used. I don't know, maybe but what would Mr. Garth get by his patron being demised?
I mean, the way Mr.
Was it really Garth though?
Technically, no, that was not Garth.
No, it was Tabitha.
I'm sitting here going, how the fuck would she know?
She's like going, I don't fucking know. I gotta make some shit up. God damn.
I mean, Mr. Gilderoy's a pretty well-known and powerful kind of guy. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of investments all over the place. I could see that some people might want to get rid of him. You know, got a lot of competition.
And the way he generally treats his footmen and the rest of his stuff, I wouldn't exclude that maybe someone among his servants has something against him. I see it more than enough.
I mean, he does pay well. I mean, he's throwing money all over the darn place.
I mean, you know he's throwing money, you don't know if he's paying his employees well.
He pays me pretty well.
Yeah, but you're a contractor, not an employee.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the reason for me not to kill him, though, that's my money income, so.
It wasn't me. Just one more question. Octavia Colombo.
Tombo.
One more thing.
One more thing.
I'm just saying we can't rule out almost anyone. So.
I mean, but if it was one of his servants, one of his employees, I mean, if you're unhappy with your boss, you just leave. You get another job. You don't kill your boss. What'll that get you? Other than just revenge?
For some people, that's more than enough, Miss Astrid.
Yeah.
Orgrin, did you get a good visual of the guy that was talking to Mr. Notgoth? What he looked like?
No, I was sitting with my back to them, so I only heard what they said.
Alright, let's get a lineup of people and just have them say those words over and over again until we decide on who sounds most like them, right?
And with that, there's a knock at the door, and it opens as Gilderoy and two footmen come in. And behind those are two guards. Their swords are put into their their hilts, as they don't seem that aggressive. As Gilderoy comes forward, literally looking over all of you, going, "Hello, my dearest guests. So, it seems that I am at an impasse. Perhaps I would have to call on you, Octavia, and your rebel band of adventurers. Perhaps, well, help me out of this pickle. Someone wants me dead. I need to find out who this is before the end of this weekend. I can't release you until then, but I will perhaps give you a little bit of leeway in investigation."
Well, we'll do anything we can to help, Mr. Gilderoy. I'm so glad you're not dead. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't you that got that poison. That would have been devastating.
Yes.
It seems like Mr. Morgan here, he may have heard somebody talking. It sounds like it might have been part of the group of actors.
The actors? Well, of course, we had the show. I was in on it. They were going to pretend to kill me. Well, Mr. Calico, of course, disguised as me. Hence the throwing of knives and daggers. It was part of the entertainment show.
That makes sense.
So, little idea. If this was part of their little show, wouldn't they have like what's they call it? The book with the words. It's got all the lines. The script. Can't we look at a script and see what parts was different? See who's not a suspect?
Well, perhaps we should I will perhaps get each one of the actors and send them here to be investigated. Would you be able to slowly and methodically, like one of your many murder mysteries, Octavia?
Yeah, we could. I would say maybe let's start with Tabitha and see what they know, since they were playing Goth, and it seems like they were the ones that we overheard them saying something. Well, somebody saying something to them. That's what Morgan was telling us.
Excellent.
I mean, if we wait till tomorrow, I can find out if people are lying.
Well, that sounds fantastic, Mr. Mogren. I will probably say that the quicker that we can do this, the better, in case they try to escape. My friend Calico... yes, Miss Astrid.
No, keep going. No.
My friend Calico is still bedridden. Hopefully he will be better tomorrow morning. We have him on all sorts of magical, restoration. Mr. Indigo himself is at his bedside right now. Luckily, he knows lesser restoration.
Good to hear that Mr. Calico is going to be taken care of.
Sorry, Astrid. Yes, sorry, Astrid. What's...
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask. Knowing that these people can disguise themselves at will at a fairly good manner, do you have any kind of device that we could use to dispel all? Like, can you just drop all the illusions from your area? We all look like we're supposed to, and
I mean, that can be arranged, but we have no magic users here. The halls themselves are not necessarily magical. Mr. Calico himself was, well, it took him a couple of fine months to put the scrolls and magic together for the performance. And of course, the scrolls that were in order to render our appearances, or your appearances, different, were, of course, they took many months to decipher. So I will say it's probably most likely I will not be able to help you in that regard.
Sir, if I might ask a question.
Yes?
I assume the whole acting troupe you hired was in on it, so they knew you and Mr. Calico were switching places?
Yes. I would assume so.
Well, if you were the target of the poison attack, then I assume someone who knew that you were switching places wouldn't have made the mistake of giving the false you a poisoned drink.
So you think that was outside of the clientele that I had?
Well, if you were the target, if someone really tried to kill Mr. Calico, then of course it would have been the troop. So
interesting.
The important, or the most, one of the most important things, apart from of course catching the poisoner, would be finding out if you were the target or if Mr. Calico was.
Fair point. I was under the assumption that it was me, but perhaps, like one of Octavia's stories, there is more going on here. Ernie, what is it?
As he steps forward, he's just you think there's anyone here that might get a bit I don't know what the word is, but benefit from your death? I think, anyone in particular that doesn't like you is here tonight.
I mean, there are numerous types of people who I have annoyed in my career. Even Octavia herself and I have had disagreements, but I mean, considering how long we've known each other, we have come to terms. There are...
Yeah, we came to terms. I still wish you would have published that story, but you know, whatever. I get it.
I will have to say, like I said, I have many enemies, many allies too. Like, for instance, Lady Farr and of course her new husband. I once tried to buy their, assets, and now, I thought the hatchet was buried, but perhaps it is not.
Well, I assume that's the things we have to determine. When Mr. Calico feels better, we should ask him if he has any enemies, and if he says, no one he could think of was here tonight, then we can say with at least some certainty that you were the actual target, and that would effectively eliminate the acting troupe as suspects if everybody knew that you were switching places with Mr. Calico.
I will have 2 guards on Calico's bed. And, of course, Chief Indigo himself is looking over him, so we will, hopefully, nothing in the night will happen. And we will have him questioned in the morning. For now, I think we will have Tabitha brought up here, and you can perhaps ask her some questions. She is, after all, I think, the second in command of the troop themselves. Is there anything else I can do for you lot before I continue my own investigations?
Would it be possible to get some little snacks brought up here? I know Grom was a little bit hungry.
I will have my kitchen staff on standby, but you will have to admit, I don't wish many people roaming the castle tonight. I will try to limit it. I will have 1 box, a bread basket perhaps, brought up.
Could I just go down to the kitchen?
You leave this room, and I catch you. I will send you to the jail myself.
That part doesn't sound too fun.
Out of my own safety and your own. I know you two are rather rambunctious sorts, but this is my house and you will respect me.
Not disrespecting you.
Out of character, can anyone postpone any investigations, interrogations until tomorrow so we can get the circle of truth?
And you could always just, have the investigation today and then ask to see them again tomorrow. Yeah. When the spell's active, because
This is just okay, fine.
I mean, it does, this is literally this is the discussion that I hate, which is well, I don't have the spell slot, so I'm gonna wait a day, and you know what I mean, and that is not not the overall effort of the thing,
Plus, we can probably catch.
Let's all do a long rest because I need a long rest, you know what I mean? No, yeah, okay.
It is a good idea though that we can talk to people, and then if their stories differ the next day, as long as they're still there to talk to.
No, yeah, this would probably be a better idea.
I mean, it doesn't take the optional way, okay?
I retract my metagaming bullshit.
Good, because the less metagaming, the better. Right, Gilderoy turns around and one of his servants nods and literally just says, the key, this room will be locked, and we will see you tomorrow morning, unless, of course, you wish me to retrieve Tabitha.
Is there a bathroom?
There is a bathroom, yes. There's a bathroom. We discussed that. It's a bedroom. It's a bedroom, okay? It has a side shitter.
Don't worry, Astrid. There is a communal piss spot.
Yes, there is. It is. You will have to throw it out the window to empty it.
Go poopies in the corner. That's not very ladylike.
Oh, I got it in my beard.
A groove shit bucket. Wonderful.
Yeah.
One more thing, Mr. Gilderoy. If you find out what that poison is, maybe just let us know. We can maybe think of where it came from. Maybe that'll help us narrow down who could have acquired it.
My alchemic chemists are doing their best to find out. It seems to be some sort of local Trinobian herb.
That just makes it could be anybody. Ah, damn it.
I thought it smelled kind of familiar, like maybe as a kid but I've eaten so many things and gotten so sick from it, so.
Perhaps it is a mixture. We will probably know more. But, of course, my men are not really known for figuring out poisons. But I will say, I respect all of you, and I hope that none of you are responsible for my endangerment, considering I have paid and, of course, given you, well, a rather lovely party, I will say.
It's been beautiful up until this moment, but, you know, that's kind of how things go sometimes, you know?
I'm going to bring Tabitha up here, and then perhaps you will have time for one more investigation. Is there anyone else you would rather see and talk to? And then, of course, it will be too late, and I will make sure that everyone is locked down. So basically, just
About that shady guy that didn't talk much.
Evan McCoy.
I will say this: we're not gonna get to it tonight. But like, if you could give me 2 names so that we could start next session with the 2 people, that would basically be.
Well, there was also that lady that was all like huffy, like she had been exercising and running like in a frantic. So maybe there's something.
Ah, yes, Miss Rosewood. I saw her. Her and Hoss were getting to the nitty-gritty behind some curtains earlier. Where is Hoss?
I think he ate a bad egg sandwich.
Perhaps he might be suspect number 1. We're gonna leave it there.
What a cliffhanger.
Well, thank you very much, folks. Always.
Thank you.
We have a murder mystery to solve. You have your intended victim. You have your victim. You have a bunch of characters. And now you just need to figure out why and maybe who. You know it's poison, so that part's solved. And it's the dining hall. You know it's there. You have 2 of the 3 pieces. So yeah. Well,
2 of the 4. We need motive and the killer.
You know what? Fair point. Fair point. And of what a group of people to solve said murder, right?
Yeah, we are all such brainiacs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's the median of our intellect modifier?
Ooh.
Probably 0 to -1, I would assume.
I want to say that Hoss is the smartest guy in this group, intelligence-wise. So.
Possibly.
So you guys are.
There's also several -1s, Manic.
So... I mean, it does lower it. I think it's just like 13 as well, so it's not even that high.
Sorry, Mars, did you just say possibly?
What, Hoss being the smartest one?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly, like a play
I mean,
words.
Like, he might be.
Well, like possibly, but Hoss.
No, like, did you say possibly or possibly? Like, he's possibly. Haas is
You know what?
possibly.
I wish I had thought about that, but I didn't.
Okay.
The main suspects are Feng and McCoy. So I assume we're going to ask for them.
Well, like I said, you could talk to everybody, right? You'll be able to talk to everybody, but I'm just saying, like, you get like a couple of people up front, then we can. When we start the scene, we can start from the actual investigation, go from there.
Well, you allowed us 2 people before the new day starts, and I'm proposing to the group out of character that Feng and McCoy are the most suspicious ones, purely because they were discussing the killing, and even though it might be
the act itself,
the act itself, they were the last one to even mention it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's fair.
So
Fair.
Who was there that wasn't part of the troop?
Boy.
Lady Arturo, Chief Indigo, Lady Rosewood, S. Arturo, Fletcher, the woman that Hess Arturo was with, that wasn't his wife, a couple of no faces, a bunch of nobodies. Like I said, that hall was packed. It wasn't just those people. Like, you know, like
It was one of the nobodies.
it was. Yeah, it's clearly one of the nobodies because that's how difficult I wanted to make.
Nobody number 7.
Yeah.
It was his son. He wants to take over.
Boom. If you aren't already, please go check out all these lovely people, all the cast members of Cornerstone season 2. I guess technically session 2, but it's season 2 of my playing or whatever. We got Muffin playing Godwin. We got Bean playing Astrid. Marcy playing Grom. Pengu playing Haas, who wasn't here tonight, unfortunately. I hope he feels better for next time. Alpaca playing Mogren. Hobo playing Ernie. Panda playing Octavia. And Kitsune playing Pyrian. Thank you very much, guys. We're just going to end here, I think. I don't think we're going to raid anywhere. Have a good, lovely evening, and thanks for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks for session 3 for this murder mystery. Thank you again, folks. And yeah, have a good one and enjoy your night. Say, everybody, you want to say goodbye? Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks very much, Chuck. Appreciate it.
Chuck. I didn't even see you come in. Hi, Chuck. Bye, Chuck.
Have a nice night. And yet again, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks for the end of this murder mystery. Ooh. It was Grom.
The whole
No,
time.
you've got no proof.
No.
You've got no proof.
He spat in the drink and he hadn't brushed his teeth in over 10 years and it acted like a poison.
No, he just.
You know what? I'm very good, Keenan.
It's actually just really bad chewing tobacco. It's like, you're just like, oh, I don't like chewing this while I drink. I'll just spit it into this cup. Oh no.
The cup. The funny thing is, the cup was empty before he spat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Have a
Wait, who refilled this?
Have a good night, folks. Cheerio.